Sunday afternoon in Omaha, biggest stage in college baseball. Texas A&M 9 innings away from a championship. The #1 seed, Tennessee Volunteers, backs up against the wall, hoping to force a winner-take-all Game 3. Look at the numbers Moore's put up this year. 33 homers, 73 runs batted in. Bud Mibe is ready, so are we. Game 2 underway, and the first one misses. Moore in Tennessee very aggressive at the plate last night on an early take. One ball, one strike. Bud Mibe looks large on the mound because he's huge. He's 6'8", 270 from Bourne, Texas.
Bernie. I don't want to get mad at
Bernie, thank you.
Bernie. Yeah, that's a whole lot of cowboys standing out there.
And he is, according to his pitching coach, a cowboy. Rides horses, ropes them and all that. And he used that slider to get ahead. 1-2 on Moore. Right back up the middle. It almost got the big horse. And that's a great start for Christian Moore in Tennessee. With 2 strikes, he sends one back up the middle.
Let's go! Well, this is their catalyst. A breaking ball that just kind of doesn't dive enough, and he almost wears it right off the pitching arm. Simo gets his chest down, gets his nose down, extends the life of that barrel, and shoots it right back up the box. The start they were looking for from their catalyst after a rough night last night, a rocket to get them going, and now the always dangerous Blake Burke.
Yeah, the rough night, by the way, brought his average from 571 down to 421. He's been terrific here, and so is this guy, Burke, at 474. Swings at the first one, and it's a miss. Burke is locked in this postseason, and certainly here in Omaha. 9 for 19, a double, a homer. And that ball is smoked to left field, playing really deep. Sorrell, and he's there to make the play to take one away from Blake Burke. 2 fairly squared up baseballs, and that brings up Billy Amick. Talking with Ryan Prager before the game. He was that star last night. He said the one guy who felt like he was a little bit out of his comfort zone was Amick. He is the 3-hole hitter on this dynamic offense. 23 homers this year, 65 runs batted in. Swings at the first one. He fouls it off. So Moore standing there at first base after a leadoff single.
I think early indicator, one, Tennessee's going to be aggressive because they think Bud Mibe's going to be in the zone, and early on he's in the zone. First fastball was out of the zone. After that, he's pounded the zone for the most part. He's kind of showing you what the scouting report said it was going to be. Slider heavy so far. That was what Moore singled on the center field.
The emphasis that Wiener and the staff put on strike one and getting the advantage in a 1-1 count is massive. Bud Mibe ready on an 0-1. Takes his time and delivers outside. So he last pitched in a game June 9th against Oregon. He went 1 inning. And he hit somebody. That was it. There is the pitching coach who, as they told me today, he can instill confidence in anybody at any minute. 1-1.
Ball.
Doesn't get it. 2-1.
They didn't tell him that he would be starting until this morning. Max Wiener met with them during the scouting report, and he said, listen, this is a big game, and you're a big man. Literally 6'8". He's also described him as, one of the cowboys from Yellowstone, just ripped without the beard.
90-mile-an-hour fastball inside. And when he told him you're starting today, the reaction from the big fella was a smile. Just a smile. I'm good.
They like the heartbeat, man. You've been in college baseball for 6 years. You know how to probably control your emotions in big spots.
2-2 to Amick. Runner goes. And this one is fouled down the first baseline. And it is going to get into the seats. Moore was on the move.
Well, we talked about the incredible story of Caden Kent and what he's been able to do in the postseason. Bud Mibe really just getting his first shot at making an impact, but 2 appearances in the Southeastern Conference this year and did not make a trip until their second to last conference series of the season at Ole Miss, and he's starting game 2 of the finals. I mean, it's an incredible story that you could never make up. But their number 2 starter, Shane Sadeo, goes down. He would be starting this game normally, and they're in a bind. They've used Justin Lampkin twice already. They need to rest him. And so it's just going to be kind of a bullpen day, but pretty cool for this young man to find himself in this spot.
Yeah, and Schlossnagel acknowledged to me earlier today, like, this may be the day as more fakes to go, and he misses outside. Where those injuries, which really haven't caught up to them, they haven't lost a game in the tournament. This is the day that he's most concerned about because of the injury to Sadeo.
And I think that's why yesterday was so important for Texas A&M. You got to win game 1, I think, to really have a chance to win this thing, because you never know. I mean, they could bullpen piece it together today, and it could really work.
Moore is going 3-2. Tall strike, free throw down, safe. Amick is gone. Moore steals the bag.
Wow, that was incredibly close. I do think Jake Uhlenhoff gets this one right. Amick locked up on a slider. Looks like Simo's hand arrives just ahead of the tag from Kent. Yeah. Uhlenhoff was all over that call at second base.
How much is that oven mitt add? 3 or 4 inches to your hand right there? That probably doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I'll take another look, but unless he came off the base, which I didn't see that he did, the hand definitely beat the tag.
This was the game plan for A&M last night, as the challenge has now been put in by Schlossnagel. They will run offense. Kent got that glove down in a hurry, and then, unlike most, he did seem to take it off, lift it straight up, trying to show the umpire that he had made the tag, and he got him. All in the field is safe at second base.
It's a great throw, too.
Yeah.
And it was on a slider that was taken for strike 3, so the slider-fastball difference might have been enough. That was just slow enough for Christian Moore to beat him.
After review, the safe call at second base is confirmed. Texas A&M is charged with its first challenge of the game.
Christian Moore's 5th stolen base of the season.
Balls don't run a ton, but you'll see them here in Omaha try to force the issue a little bit. A bigger yard than the ones they're used to playing in, and you got to manufacture some offense a little bit more than maybe you would in the regular season.
Already, given the circumstances, this is a big spot. They got a runner in scoring position. Dreiling had 4 hits last night. The first pitch with first base open is down. Volunteers have outscored their opponents 64-38 in the first, but the runners in scoring position has been a big problem and an A&M strength.
It's right on the edge.
1-1. 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position in game 1. In 3 games, 11 for 33.
Yeah, it had been a strength until last night, but the Aggies have stayed consistent. Hitters just batting .095 against Texas A&M in the College World Series with runners in scoring position. So, you know, a huge reason why the Aggies are still here is because they have been able to come up with big pitches when runners are in scoring position.
Chris Cortez is already warming in this bullpen. It's 1-2 to Dreiling. Just got a piece of it.
And Budmeier has been as advertised. I mean, just filling up the zone with quality strikes. Nothing overpowering, but changing speeds, and has not been scared one bit to challenge this Tennessee lineup.
Dreiling had the walk-off single. Game 2 of this College World Series. Moore is at second. Here he comes, and he gets him. Wow. Zane Budmeier pulls the string. They lead the runner at second. A&M will come to the plate for the first time.
That early returns are positive, and he fits the spot today. I'd keep rolling.
We'll start with a freshman from Orange, California, Gavin Grahovac. You listened to Tony Vitello last night talk about Grahovac and his infield. He's like, these guys, they're all monsters. They are big guys. And Grahovac went the opposite way to get it going. Team's first pitch at 6'4", 207 out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Bartello already trying to get himself the advantage when it comes to balls and strikes. One ball, one strike. High school superstar quarterback is one. QB1, the Sunday starter for the first couple of years on campus. And this is inside. Talk about what the stage can do as well for players, man. He's a borderline, right? First-round pick. We have a big game today. Slide right up in the draft.
That didn't take long. Wow. 3 pitches in, and that's a warning to the Tennessee bench.
You could see that coming, couldn't you?
Yep. These two know each other quite well. Scott Klein out of the SEC conference.
A little chippiness, a little, really not much, but a little bit last night. I think there was some frustration from the balls on the strikes and balls that were called last night. But early, a warning here. Really good pitch there. A slider. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Amick and Curley both deep on the left side. Moore is on the grass at second and shaded up the middle.
Tennessee doing the signs again today, guys. There was an issue yesterday that they lost a pitch comm device, and so they've gone to using the signs. They're still communicating to their catcher, Cal Stark, and then he's going old school signs back to the pitchers. We just don't see that a whole lot in the modern game at any level.
3-2, here it comes. And it's fouled off the plate.
You know what happens more when they give signs? Guys shake. Like when it comes through pitch comm, usually it's just a yes and go. The guys shake less in college baseball now than they ever have because of pitch comm. Drew Beam shook right there. Shook back to the fastball, and I think going back to signs, you will see more of that. Grahovac caught that one in a spot that the pad wasn't. Off his toe.
This team is beaten up already. There are a bunch of guys playing who are banged up, and now Grahovac will join that list. And not having Braden Montgomery would appear to be a massive deal. Are they going to be able to survive without him and win a World Series? He's been better than his hat says good as a guy helping in every way he can. But when you remove the number of homers, the power, the average, the fielding, it's a hard hill to climb. They've done unbelievably so far. On a 3-2 now, leading off Grahovac. Good idea to take cover, get a little wet towel around your back. And if we do come back tomorrow, if you think it's warm today, just wait. We're going to see some triple-digit numbers here in Omaha on Monday. Popped up. Moore going out, still going out. Tears, who's in right, comes in. And Christian Moore picked it.
He just shook his head at him. Did you see that?
Yeah. Like, no, man, I'm can't.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm there.
This would not have been a friendly collision if Kavares Tears would have hit him full speed. Simo camped, assuredly, and Tears would have made the play easily as well. I don't see Tears calling it, so Simo just holds his ground. And that one could have been bad.
There you go. A little signal for talking. They had 3 errors last night, and they cost them. Jace Laviolette, power hitting right fielder, looks at ball 1 away. And Laviolette, of course, he hurt his hamstring early in this series. He hasn't really been the same since. Overall, just an .077 average here in Omaha, and he is 1 for 13. But look at the numbers: 28 bombs, 77 RBI. 3 men on the right side of the infield for Tennessee, and he was a little late on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
So you talked about it earlier. Braden Montgomery not in the game.
Yep.
Led the Southeastern Conference in RBIs. Jace Laviolette, one of the most productive hitters in the country as well. Montgomery not playing. Laviolette 0 runs driven in here in Omaha. They're 1 win away from a title. Pretty crazy.
They haven't trailed. Yeah. I mean, not only are they 1 win away from the title, they haven't trailed since they showed up in town.
That dude has done the heavy lifting without the sluggers' production. And, of course, the pitching staff has just been nails.
Beams 1-2. Fouled off. He did say it's feeling a little bit better. Take a look at some of the guys that have performed well. We saw Kent, we saw Prager. Today's starter, just trying to stay cool. 1-2, sign given from Stark. That ball is driven to right, and a no doubt about it, Laviolette bomb. 1-0 Aggies, bottom of the first. Jace Laviolette's 29th of the year, and first here in Omaha.
Earlier in the at-bat, they were sneaking fastballs by him. He was a little bit late to it. Fastball he pitched before this, he fouled off, and then this one, Berkey.
Yeah, you just can't keep a good man down too long. That bat path has produced way too much damage over the course of the last 2 years for him not to run into one at some point. As you said, KP, eventually he gets his timing down for the heater, and that is a no-doubter that sails into the right field seats, and a bunch of emotion coming out of the Aggie slugger there as he wakes up that dangerous bat.
Jackson Appel looks at strike one. 111 miles an hour off his bat, traveled 414 feet, and it was a no doubt about it. He's got 50 in his career. He's 6 behind Holt.
Ball. He's got another year left.
And he's got a full year left.
2 years.
The start A&M wanted. And Appel goes the other way. That's going to get to the seats. They've got Budmeyer now through one. He's got, and the team has a 1-0 lead. They win today, they win the World Series. And basically, Laviolette said before, even yesterday, like, I'm good to go. I'm ready to run. I'm going to chase. I feel fine. Swing and a miss. See, upped at 94 to the top of the zone.
I mean, at this point, if it goes, it goes. Like, summer ball doesn't make any difference. He's not going to get drafted this year because he's not draft eligible. Whatever you got left, leave it here.
Berkey, that just had to feel so good for him, though, because I'm sure he's been frustrated, with the injury and the fact that it's affected his ability to hit. They count on him for that.
No doubt about it. And even though they've been winning, you know that he wants to be part of the why behind it. And he has walked 5 times. He's been on base. He's scored some runs. But
robbed a home run, too.
He robbed a home run. That saved the game. Yeah, he's made an impact with the glove. But that's certainly the loudest swing of this tournament by him.
0-2 to Hayden's shot. He's the DH. He's a senior. He's coming off of a very good game, too, in spite of the fact that he's snicked up with a hamstring. The 0-2.
Ball.
Missing 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reached on an error last night in the first, then a single. RBI, then a double.
Ball, it's out.
Just missed. Already a warning, the fiery head coach of the Volunteers on the top step. And out of play it goes.
Part of the story this year with Drew Beam has been his ability to put hitters away. Such a consistent strike thrower. But sometimes the swing and miss has been harder to come by for Beam here, especially against some of these left-handed hitters.
Ball, it's out.
Tony Vitello grabs some dirt and throws it out of the field. The first him down.
The ball is outside. I know that you want it to be called a strike, and I get it, but the pitch is outside.
Yeah, Scott Klein been doing it a long time. They know that Scott Klein is is not one to give pitches off the edge, and that one just missed. Certainly a pitch that we see called in the college game, but just a touch off the edge nonetheless.
But it's not a miss. It's not a miss on Scott Klein's part. You can understand if you get that every once in a while. There's been a few out there. He's holding both balls. They're off the plate.
And I do think, the problem is when you start to compare one night to the next day. Last night, some of those were strikes. We saw that. Today, they're not going to be, and you got to understand the zone. Vitello is just pacing that Volunteer dugout. He's kind of trying to communicate with that first base umpire. That's better. That's a strike. And he's coming out to cheer on his catcher while at the same time delivering a message to Klein behind the plate.
A little spicy. Thought it might be about 95 degrees. Jace Laviolette says, I don't care if I just had one hit coming in. I can still hit it in the seats. Solo shot to get the Ags on the board.
Tony Vitello hopefully in a little bit better mood than he was about 15 seconds ago. 7th appearance in this College World Series, 3rd in the last 4 years. He has absolutely turned this into a juggernaut. As Hunter Ensley would lead off here in the 2nd. 5-6-7 against Zane Budmeyev. And that one is ripped into center field. Hunter Ensley, who was a DH last night, now back in the field, and he is aboard. So back-to-back innings, leadoff man aboard.
Hunter Ensley stays hot. Had a big game last night with 3 hits and gets a fastball right down Broadway, and that is just a rocket. The swing is so short by Ensley. Tough to get the fastball by him, especially if he's on it early in the count. Volunteers center fielder back in the field today, but continues to swing the bat at a very high level.
Make no mistake about it, A&M is very aware of the limits that they're going to allow Budmeyev to throw. They move their left fielder back and to the left for Kavaris Tears. Cortez is up throwing again.
He is, and if you're A&M, your ideal situation is you want Cortez in to clean it. You don't necessarily want to bring him in. He's going to pitch in this game, the way that it is right now. But when Cortez struggles, it is the inability to throw strikes, and you know Tennessee is well aware of what the scouting report is.
Well, it may not be a clean inning. Yeah. They got the lead. Schlossnagel has already signaled, so we are going to see the most potent arm in the A&M bullpen come into this game. That's exactly what A&M hoped they would get. They take Budmeyev out of the game with a lead.
Listen, man, this stuff is as good as anybody in the country. 41 hits allowed in 60 in the 30s, punched out 95. Where there are issues is simply with the control. Expect Tennessee to be a little bit more patient now with Cortez in there.
Tears ready for his pitch. That is down. Tears has been phenomenal here. A couple of homers, a triple-double, a half dozen RBI.
And from a Tennessee perspective, the stuff is so extreme with Cortez, and the strike zone with Scott Klein continues to be small. Like you just got to get the ball middle, because Cortez can really move the ball east and west, whether it be from the slider going in towards lefties or the two-seamer going away.
Big swing from Tears, 88-mile-an-hour pitch. You got a 98 fastball, 88 off-speed. And you got to believe every strike that this guy throws, his confidence will build. We saw him come into the game the other night, throw 8 pitches, all balls, and exit.
Well, when we talked to Jim Schlossnagel after the fact, the next day or two, when he went out to get Chris Cortez, the discussion was, you're going to be back in there. It's not going to be today, but you're going to be back in there, and we're going to need you. Did not pitch yesterday, so you knew that there'd be a heavy dose of Cortez today if A&M was ahead.
2-2. Tears is gone 99-mile-an-hour with some run.
How about 19 inches of run? So that's 19 inches of arm side run. This pitch starts over the plate, and it didn't end up there. And that's at 99. Baseballs don't generally do what that just did. It is not a comfortable at bat. Ended up probably a good 8 to 10 inches off the plate, but out of the hand looked like a strike, and it's coming at you right at 100 miles an hour.
Cortez had a career-high 10 strikeouts against Oregon in the Super Regional, 6 against Florida in Game 1 of the College World Series. Sticks that one to Dean Curley, the shortstop. Curley, a freshman, 277 on the year. Big kid at shortstop for the Vols. Ainsley off first.
Ball.
1-1. Cortez appeared in the College World Series back in 2022 in a different role with different responsibilities.
Ball.
Good take right there. Cortez going to throw sliders a higher percentage of the time versus right-handers than he will fastball. It's a little over 50% with the slider usage. And what makes it so tough is it's 99 with the heater. So to take that pitch right there by Curley, pretty advanced move. Got to get ready for 99, but you know percentage-wise, 88, 89 mile-an-hour sliders coming more often than not.
57% whip rate, meaning a swing and a miss on a slider.
Ball.
That's a take there. And against righties, 99th percentile, a 60% swing and miss rate.
And the average D1 slider gets about 33%, so his is almost twice as effective. And most of that, again, is because you're gearing up for 100.
What do you do here? 3-2. We saw the 99 last time up. There is a slider that is hit to center field. And Curley is out as Chestnut is there to make the play. So 9 times has Tennessee won after a loss. And in those games, they have averaged about 11.5 runs per game. Cannon Peebles gets the role of DH in this one. 225 on the year.
Ball.
First start of the series for Peebles, isn't it? There's some flash in there. I know he's only got 2 home runs this year, but had a big-time freshman year at NC State last year.
Ball.
See Cortez, he wanted that, and one of the things that Schlossnagle and the guy there to his left talked about, shaking that off, moving on to the next pitch. Now he's behind 3-0 to Peebles. Cal Stark, the 9-hitter on deck. Caden Kent at second base on the grass. And a 4-pitch walk.
That's what you get sometimes with Cortez, where it just, the command can come and go. That's a 3-0 breaking ball that bounced in front of home plate. I mean, that is a very non-traditional offering there on a 3-0 count to the 8-hole hitter, but it can just come and go with the right-hander.
Well, and you saw the head shake after that close call that went against him and was called the ball. Now it's going to be up to Cortez to forget about that. Runner in scoring position, second straight inning for the Vols. Can they pay it off with Stark?
Ball, it's out.
I'd almost be surprised if Cal Stark swings before he gets a strike here.
One ball and 1 strike. Stark 0 for 3 with a walk last night. Thought about it, and how about 100 miles an hour heading at your melon?
His hand started like he thought it was a slider. I mean, this thing is electric.
You start diving out over the plate for that slider and 100 comes at your nose. That'll wake you up.
That's a big pitch. 2-1 pitch to get it back even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both fan bases know how important this at-bat is. 2-2 on the ground. And they will go to first. And Camarillo's throw is in the dirt. Burton could not scoop it. And Camarillo took his time. He looked to second, then went to first. And that is an enormous break for the Vols.
Well, you got to give Cannon Peoples a bunch of credit here. First and second, the job of the runner at first base is beat a force on a tough play from the left side of the infield. Like, that is your first job. But watch Peoples here. Gets a good secondary going right as soon as the ball's hit. Camarillo looked at second base, realized he couldn't get Peoples, so he has to look. The first look's at second. No, I can't get it there. Let me redirect my energy, and the ball comes up a little short. Burton can't make the pick, and now you got to deal with more with the bases loaded.
Last night, the Vols made 3 errors. It cost them dearly. And the first error of today's game comes on a play that would have ended the inning. Instead, the bases are loaded for Christian Moore, who singled his first time up. And he's a guy, like many, but he's a guy, when he feels it, he can take off.
This is one of the best hitters in the country. And what I liked about it, when Dean Curley flew out to center field in this inning, the first guy to go talk to him when he got in the dugout was Christian Moore. And it was, what'd you see? What do you got? Even though they know the scouting report, a lot of these guys have probably faced Cortez in the past. That was his first thing, is go to get immediate feedback on what Curley saw.
Well, and if you're watching, I don't think Cortez has thrown a fastball for a strike. Every strike has been with the breaking ball. Wouldn't surprise me if Simo's up there hunting one here.
2 for 10, 1 grand slam. Bases loaded for Moore. First pitch is in there for a strike, and that's easy 101 to get him started.
This is major league closer stuff. Now, whether or not he can put it in the zone or not is the biggest question, but this is big leaguer on big leaguer right here.
That's the pitch right there that you saw the reaction for both Appel and Cortez.
Now, this one looked like it was there.
It's definitely overplayed. I don't know if he had it down or not.
Moore, chopper to second, fielded there by Kent, and they get out of it. Cortez says more, and Tennessee continued to struggle with runners in scoring position.
One of the most talented college baseball players in the country this year.
Ted Burton leads off. Beam throws him a off-speed pitch for strike 1. Isn't it amazing for somebody whose stock value is so high, who is unable to play, and that value may actually have gone up because of what he's done off the field? Character.
Yeah, the character of the kid is really shined. And when people talk about Brady Montgomery as a baseball player, it's 5 tools that are as high as any 5 tools you will see. Maybe the bat to ball gets a little knock, but it's switch hitter, power, speed, arm, all those things. But it's crazy. The first thing they will say is the smile and the joy. And that, you talk about a character reference. This kid has put it on display here over the last few weeks.
So Beam ahead of Burton, who'll lead off, followed by Sorrell. And he will not offer at that. Ali Camarillo happy about the way that last half ended after the error. And Simo, Christian Moore out there kind of kicking some dirt. Frustrating not to be able to deliver with the bases loaded.
Yes!
And he looked like he went, so that ball was scooped, and now having to get over it. First base is Burton. We'll have the MLB draft on ESPN Sunday night before the Home Run Derby and the All-Star game. And according to our draft expert, Kylie McDaniel, you got Montgomery 6, Moore 12. Billy Amick just further fortifying an already incredibly talented Baltimore Orioles system. Prager, Beam, and Burke also on the list. Look forward to the draft. Always a good night for us, and we have a great time doing it. Berkey's ready to burrow into his man cave and start focusing on that once this series is over. Burton gone. Here's Sorrell. He spins one in there for strike 1.
Well, it's crazy how college heavy the first round of the draft has become. And this year, maybe the heaviest it has ever been, potentially, with so many polished college hitters coming out this year.
Chased one up top. Really good pitch from Beam. He went slider and then 95.
Beam has the plus stuff tonight. And it's 94 to 96. He can show you two different breaking balls, add some side to side when he gets in a plus count. He did that to strike out Burton.
You talk about a high character guy. Drew Beam is also in that category. For those who haven't followed the story of the Beam family, he's got a 16-year-old sister, Carly, who's in a wheelchair. She deals with spinal muscular atrophy. He is the biggest supporter, full of love and encouragement. Wears a bracelet to support it. Got a purple glove that became famous. You can see that purple bracelet on his left wrist. 2-2. Cold strike 3. Beam's third strikeout, last 4 outs.
For the backdoor breaking ball, KP. That thing is sharp today. Started off the right edge and bring it back. You see the fastball up to 95 and that backdoor breaker getting the left-handers frozen as that wraps around the edge.
How about the last 2 hitters, the ability to throw the breaking ball both sides of the plate? And add to it against the righty, gets some chase, and then that time just freezes the freshman Sorrell, and it catches the outside corner. That's now 4 strikeouts in a row for Beam.
Ali Camarillo pours one in there.
Beam's other biggest supporter, girlfriend Haley. You can see her. She's in the white hat that says Beam. If you're wondering why the Beam hat is maroon and white, it's because her dad Jason is the director of ops for A&M. So cheering for both sides today, I guess.
Straddling the fence.
Tough day emotionally. You're in an orange crowd there with the Aggie colors.
Beam 4 punch-outs today and 4 of the last 5 outs. So they got Harper in the corner. If you're looking for a major league player to have in your corner, Harp's a good one.
I think that sells with the kids.
Cortez first pitch misses badly. You get the middle of the order, Burke, Amick, and Dreiling. And Drew Beam set down 5 straight via the strikeout. And the dugout cooling off. He's been incredible. Stays 1-0 for a Tennessee team that has had opportunities. That's down 2-0.
Ball, it's out.
They got the leadoff man on in the first and in the second. They left him loaded in the second. 3-0 count to a 20 home run guy. That's in there at the knees for strike 1 with a slider.
I mean, he tells you what pitch he feels most comfortable with in 3-0 counts. That's twice now in 3-0 counts we've seen the breaking ball. Still more balls than strikes, but boy, did he deliver against SEMO with the bases loaded.
Ball 4.
Missed really badly there, and it's ball 4, and the leadoff man for Tennessee is aboard. And just given the offensive production the Vols have had, man, you're playing with fire, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. The walk is generally not a good idea against this offense, but Cortez has got the kind of stuff that is so electric. He can get, whether it be a double play ball or strikeouts with runners on base. Certainly not the formula, though, that you would draw it up if you've been Schlossnagle.
Amick struck out his first time up. Burke can go. He's got 11 steals. Not going there, and there is a strike.
Think about all these breaking balls.
Yeah.
He had SEMO with the base loaded through 3 straight fastballs that were just painted at 101, 100.
Like that. Boy, it does. It comes and goes, huh?
Yeah, it does. And I think it's the toughest thing with Cortez, because when it's there, they don't hit it. And the stuff is just that good. 2 outings ago, he went 89 pitches against Oregon. That's the most he's thrown in a game this year.
Call, strike 3. He went to 101 on the corner and painted.
Had a backdoor two-seamer at 101. Just not a lot of people on this planet that can do that. Freezes Amick right there. Leadoff walk and a strikeout to follow.
Amick struck out twice last night, and then he seemed to warm up by getting on base 3 times in a row. Got a couple of punch outs, and here's Dreiling.
Ball.
They trust Chris Cortez with game 2. Bring Aschenbeck in if they have a comfortable lead late. Otherwise, they're going to game 3 if they're down, and that's a good pitch on the corner. But right now, it is 1-0 A&M. A win for Schlossnagle gets him and the program their first championship. What is the next step for somebody that has all this stuff? How do you make sure that that variance between batter to batter goes away?
Just as far as the misses and how big they are?
Is it mechanical? What does he work on to make sure he doesn't have a... He literally just went from Amick, where he looked like a Cy Young winner, to now where he's 3-1, and of course the Burke walk.
Yeah, I think it's belief and mechanical. I think it's both. His pitch selection has changed pretty dramatically this year, which the outcome has been significantly better.
Riley may get a good one to hit here. 3-1 he did, and he fouled it off. And again, that breaking pitch.
I think some of it, too, comes just with innings. I mean, this is the kind of guy that he's going to get an opportunity in pro ball to pitch on a schedule. He's going to get a chance to pitch with length if that's how they decide to use him. But it might be till he's 25, 26 till he finds the consistency. But whenever he does, he will be in the big leagues.
Full count, Dreiling. Right back to him, Cortez. And he threw it a little wide, so they'll just take the one out as Camarillo and Cortez. You could just kind of tell the way that unfolded. I got to make sure I get one and I make a good throw.
That's a nice job by Camarillo. Don't get sped up. Turn yourself into a first baseman. Cortez turns the fire, and there's a lot of fireballers that have a hard time throwing to the bases. See, he yanks that one.
Yep.
Camarillo just catch the ball. Catch the ball, get that first out, keep the runner out of scoring position.
After Nate Yeskie left Arizona to join Schlossnagle's crew at A&M, that's when Cortez followed him. He loved Bluebell Park, saw the sign that said Omaha, and he knew this is where I want to go. And there's a knee buckler right there. Hunter Ensley has been to third base already. He had a single and ended up there. The second swing and a miss. Chased it. Cortez picks up another punch out. He wrote Ace, ACE, under the bill of his A&M baseball cap, and right now, so far, he looks like one. He's been a hard guy to pitch to. Incredible average. He will lead off, followed by Chestnut back to the top. Beam locked in with 5 straight strikeouts. How about that? 8 for 16.
Ball.
Just seeing it real well, you can tell, huh?
17 starts during the season, and he's had 5 in the postseason, today being his 6th. And right now, I'd say he's the favorite, at least one of them, to be the MVP of the College World Series.
2 balls and a strike. You saw his dad, former major leaguer Jeff Kent, his mom Dana, right there. Jeff has been, for the most part, you know, controlled in his emotions. Mom had a bubble machine going and will cheer and get off the seat. He did get up after the homer. And this ball is off his fist. It's a tough play, and that's the way it's going for Caden Kent. He got jammed, and he ends up on first with an exit velo of 59 miles an hour off the bat. It finds grass.
Well, when it's going good, Carl. And this is right here. How about pull your hands in and just by whatever means necessary. Schloss talked about it. He's a bit of a free swinger. And This ball looked like it was going to hit him in the sternum. Somehow he keeps it fair, dumps it into shallow right field, right inside the foul line there, and now 9 for 17 here in Omaha.
So the 9-hitter is Chestnut. See if he will square to bunt, try to move Kent up. Way in at third is Amick.
I would expect some sort of action here from the Aggies.
They almost had him, and Burke's pointing right to his dugout.
Oh, that was an A-plus move right there by Drew Beam, KP.
A-plus move, A-plus pick. Burke is really good at that, man. He gets on the glove side, and that tag gets on so quick.
You know, quick feet, I just don't know. The throw is a touch high, but you're right. A snap tag.
I think he's out.
Oh, if he hit him in the ribs, he's out.
I think he's out.
You think he got him in the ribs first?
I do. Because if he didn't get him then, he didn't get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's out.
That was a really good look. And our first base umpire was right there. Sean Rock was down there at first base. Call is safe. Is there enough evidence to overturn it? That last review may be the one that does it.
Does he make contact right there? And I think he did, because the hand isn't there yet.
That's a tough one. That is. That's a hard one. Given the call on the field is safe.
Yeah, you can't think he tagged him. You have to know that he did to overturn it.
And it's easy to freeze it at the moment where you think the contact is made between glove and uniform body part. It's an impossible angle to tell if there actually is contact. Either way, it'd be a big play if they do get him. It erases the single by Kent and continue the review.
Oh, that was the look right there.
After review, the safe call at first base will be overturned to out.
Yeah. Drew Beam pumps his fist and his leg after he picked off Caden Kent. Look at Dad. Look at Dad right there.
Dad not happy about this one. Of course, Drew Beam is. After 5 straight strikeouts, a career high, by the way, for Drew Beam. After 51 starts, 5 in a row, Caden Kent gets a knock, and that's just one of those deals where, especially if they're bunting you over, you just don't need to be too aggressive with your lead.
That was an awesome pickoff move, too, by Beam.
Fourth of the year. And his feet are so quick when he spins and throws to first base. And then he gave Blake Burke a chance. The throw was close enough. He could slap it down quick.
High strike called to Chestnut. Talk about it a lot. Playing other sports, obviously a great quarterback. You've got to have those feet that avoid having those arms wrapped around your legs. He's got quick feet. 1 and 2.
Yeah, quick feet and a quick release. It's always interesting too. Some of these pitchers, like the arm action as he's pitching, isn't necessarily what you would call a short arm, but then he can go short when he needs to get a pickoff.
So instead of leadoff man on and a chance to move him over, here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. 6 strikeouts in the game for Drew Beam. Sunday Night Baseball, ESPN, Capital One. Pete Alonso and the Mets wrapping up their 3-game set. Cody and the Cubs will be the opponent. We'll be at Wrigley Field. We'll start at 6 Eastern. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. Cubs won an 8-1 yesterday. Tyon was terrific. Severino will get the start in this one for the Mets. He avoids the Yankees in their Subway Series. Javier Assad goes for the Chicago Cubs. Bob Costas is going to join. Talk about the Ryne Sandberg game that he called. Rhino had a 5 for 6 day years ago. They honored Sandberg this week at Wrigley. So that's Sunday Night Baseball, 7 Eastern time after baseball tonight. Sunday Night Countdown on ESPN. 0-1 to Grahovac. That is inside. Chris Budden will talk with Schlossnagel coming up in the next half. You're going to need a lot of that today and even more tomorrow if we're back. Grahovac went. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I wasn't sure about this one live. Yeah,
that's far enough.
Yeah, that barrel passed his hands for sure.
1-2 from Beam, a strikeout machine right now. He picks up number 7. Enough movement on it. It's really hard to square up, set up that off speed. See what he does with the first one, and he misses off speed. It'll be Tears, Curley, and Peebles. The leadoff man has been on in every inning. He is yet to score. It's 1-0 in the 4th, and it's 2-0. Look at that movement, man, on that 2-seam. That is amazing run.
Just a 2-0 get me over fastball at 101.
That's all.
19 inches of run on it.
10 times he's hit triple digits. At the Skeens fastball that we saw last year, you know?
Except this one moves a lot more. Velocity similar. Movement is more than you'll see with Skeens.
But behind 3-1 to Tears, who's a threat to hit it over the wall. He did hard past the dive of Kent. And that slider was right in the center of the plate. And for the 4th consecutive inning, leadoff man on for the Balls.
Yeah, that slider and down counts is what Cortez has been more comfortable going to, and this slider's coming right back into the barrel for Kavares. Tears puts a good swing on it. Balls have had opportunities so far. You get the leadoff man out in the first 4 innings. Gonna have to push a couple across.
I'd say throughout the course of the year, Tennessee had the leadoff man on 4 straight innings. They'd have 5-6 runs by now. It just shows how good the Aggies have been handling traffic.
Comes a powerful shortstop, Dean Curley. The first pitch is a little bit high. Falling behind again, 1-0. Outfield straightaway, Chestnut in center, shaded a little towards right. For Curley, who's got 12 homers on the season, 49 runs batted in. That's in there for a strike to go 1-1. This is just routine 100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Yeah, I thought Schloss's answer was interesting, too. Like, just throw it down the middle. Just pick the middle and let it go. And if it ends up on a corner, so be it.
There's so much arm side run, you almost feel like you need to set up to the glove side if you're Jackson Appel. Let that fade play.
Right field playable for LaViolette. Each time the leadoff man has been on, the guy immediately behind him has made an out. First 4 innings. Number 1 overall seed since the start of 2020. The Volunteers have won more than any other team. Their winning percentage, .780. Number 1 in the nation the last 5 years. It starts. Peebles off with the ball. Peebles had a really good at bat. He walked, remember, in the A spot, and then Stark reached on an error to load him up for Christian Moore, who grounded out to second.
The one thing you sometimes forget about with guys that have this type of stuff is how hard it is to catch them. I mean, you got to trust the guy that's sitting behind home plate when the stuff is like this, because it is moving all over the place. And Jackson Appel is one of the better ones in the country at controlling the staff.
And that one. The inconsistency, Berkey, for a hitter. What does that do? Because a lot of guys pound the strike zone, so you know going up you're going to get a strike. What is it when the pitcher's not so consistent?
To me, I would take till I got a strike almost no matter what. I just think you want to you want to make Cortez prove each and every. It's like you can't even find him falling into a rhythm because each hitter, it feels like it comes and goes. So, and then the other thing is that the evidence is overwhelming at this point. When he needs a strike, he throws a slider. So the stuff is so good, you almost feel like you have to be on one or the other. And in hitters counts, it's almost always been slider.
Let's see what he does on 2-2. He went fastball down. Check the flags in center field, and all of a sudden that wind, which was kind of blowing gently out to left, is now blowing straight in from center field. Field may play a little more difficult. And with a 100-mile-an-hour fastballer, Chestnut is shaded towards left. Just missed. That is a close one.
It's ball 4, isn't it?
I think it's ball 4. There you go.
Again, a 3-2 count. He goes to the breaking ball.
Peebles walks, and I said, that's ball 4. No one else is moving here. Now Cal Stark, and here is Tennessee again with runners in scoring position. For 3 in this situation today. Overall 3 for 14. Who's coming up with a big hit? Stark fouls off the slider. Stark, senior out of Knoxville, Tennessee. It's your time to shine for the hometown team. Tears with a good lead at second.
Who's the guy you faced that's most similar to Cortez stuff-wise?
100 with that much run. There's not many. Most 100 guys are forcing guys. Ooh.
Wicked slider. Stark is gone. There's the second out.
Yeah, I think that's, you made the point well, KP. It just, you don't see this much horizontal break on a guy throwing 100. Now this is the nasty slider right there. You get a look at how much he can make the ball go different directions.
That's 16 inches going the other way. So we've seen 20 or 21 going arm side. That's 16 inches going away from the right end.
And here you go. This is already in a bat with the bases loaded, and now Christian Moore up with 2 guys on and 2 outs.
Let's not forget, Moore hit for the cycle in the first game here. And then he added a double.
Ball, that's out.
And that's ball 1.
All fastballs last at bat, and then another fastball here to start this one.
Ball.
And regardless of the wind, Moore can hit it out of any part of this ballpark.
And so can that guy.
That guy can too, as he said earlier in the week. It is me against the pitcher, and I plan on winning every one of these battles. He held up there. That's a good take. Like last night, he was kind of swinging at that pitch. So now it jumps 3-0 to Moore. That was a check swing. Tears is at second base. Peebles is at first. Ball's trying to break through here in the 4th.
Ball 4.
He will load him up for Blake Burke.
Simo took a long look. Chris Cortez after the breaking ball on a 3-0 count. I don't think Scott Klein took too kindly to that. Cortez shaking his head like he's ready for the challenge, and Max Wiener going to come have a word as the command of the Arsenal continues to waver for Cortez.
I know the balls don't have any runs across the board yet, but the one thing they've done a very good job of is pushing this pitch count up, and that's really important here because Ashibek may be able to give you 3 outs today. But aside from that, I'm not sure if A&M knows exactly where they're going to go next. So the quicker you can get Cortez out of this game, it becomes advantage Tennessee. But Burke could change all of that with a swing right here.
Breaking ball right here, and
It's just running hot. I mean, there's
conversation.
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, the guy throws your breaking ball 3. Who cares? He can throw you whatever he wants.
Blake Burke now, big spot again. Bases loaded with Volunteers. He's got 1 long fly here in the World Series. And that's ball 1. Tavares Tier stands at third base. Cannon Peebles down there at second base. Moore just off a walk. Cortez, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Schlossnagel's point, KP, would be, look, 100 down the middle never stays in the middle. Throw it. It's not a straight fastball.
He can't throw it straight. I mean, if you just dared him to throw a ball straight, he can't do it, which is a pretty good problem to have. But sometimes that run just takes it too far.
They've hit 12 grand slams this year. Check swing, slow roller. Kent coming, gloves in, and it got there in time. Barely. That whole thing felt like slow motion.
Thinking the exact same thing. The minute that you knew he was going to flip it with his glove, it's just whether or not it's going to get it in time. Check swing on 101. Caden Kent's done everything else right this week. Just quick enough to get Blake Burke at first base. Balls leave him loaded again. That is 8 left on base in the first 4 innings for Tennessee.
Team's down to 2. A&M leads 1-0. We go bottom 4. Tennessee continues to struggle with runners on. And the best version of Drew Beam has been on the mound for the Volunteers. He's got 7 strikeouts. He'll get Laviolette, who left the yard. Appel and then Hayden shot. Good change up there, and it goes 1-1.
I don't know that I've ever seen a hitter stay as still as Jace Laviolette does in the box. I mean, most hitters try to have some rhythm. They try to have some movement. It is almost statue-esque up there for Laviolette.
Well, he got sawed off there. The only other guy, I think we had this conversation, Corey Seager is very still when he stands there with that bat.
Yeah, I would say it's Seager-like. I was talking to Schloss about it. They've tried to loosen him up a little bit. She's not comfortable to him. But it's a pretty rare ready position to be that still.
Beam looks for strikeout number 8, and he will not chase. Fascinating, isn't it? 29 home run season right now, a 300 batting average, near 80 RBIs, and we're trying to change things a little bit?
No, we're not trying to. It's just an observation, Carl. We're not coaching.
That's outside. No, but didn't you say Schloss? They're trying to get him to be a little looser.
Well, they have through the last couple years. It just because again, it's
rare.
It's so outside the box to see somebody that still.
Count goes full. What will Beam throw? 3 on the right side of the infield. And he missed.
Moses Alou. Another very still hitter.
Well, the streets of downtown will be busy if they're all going to be here for another one tomorrow. If necessary, Game 3 of this 2024 Men's College World Series will be tomorrow night at 7 Eastern Time on ESPN. Got a chance tomorrow night to have a Game 3, a winner-take-all here. You got a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. Be a big night on ESPN and ABC. We'll find out tomorrow if we have a Game 3. Jackson Appel a little late on that 94.
Laviolette's not going anywhere. I mean, it's about a 2-step lead off at first base. If the hamstring's healthy, that could be a different situation. But here, it's more station to station when he's out there.
Oh, that's out.
1 ball, 1 strike to Appel, who grew up as a middle infielder, now obviously behind the plate. He acknowledged he used to have a Buster Posey fathead on his wall.
There's a lot of kids that had a Buster Posey fathead on their wall.
1-1 popped up, shallow left. Dreiling is there. And an easy play for Dylan Dreiling. Appel is out.
Well, Drew Beam has, from a stuff standpoint, probably been as good as he's been all year today. Fastball mid-90s to start. The breaking ball that right-handed hitters, especially for A&M, just have not been able to hold off of. And you heard Jim Schlossnagle talk about that earlier. His season high in strikeouts is 9. 7 right now. Just 2 outs recorded. Aside from that, the 1 pickoff.
Here's Shot. Good. Swings at the first one and fouls it off.
Yeah, most he struck out in an SEC game is 8. He struck out 7 of the first 10 in this one.
I think to your point, you said it earlier. Drew Beam has had games to where the first time through the order, I mean, he looks like he's going first 5 picks in the draft, and then the stuff can go a little bit.
And the third time through, when you look at the stats, the third time through is where the batting average against really jumps. And you wonder too, KP, you could speak to this. Like when you've got your A+ stuff that this good this early, do sometimes you run out of gas sooner?
But you know the adrenaline was high today. I mean, he knows exactly what's on the line.
Shot on the ground. That's a great play there by Burke. He goes to second. Wow, Blake Burke with a terrific play at first. And he threw to Curley, a tough throw, too.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Carl. First, you got to glove it. Then you got to gather it, and from your knees, you got to throw it around Laviolette, who's 6'6", running between first and second base. There's the range, and now you got to get a grip and not hit the runner in the back. Just a fantastic job of Blake Burke right there, controlling the baseball and making sure he gets the lead out on a really accurate throw there to Curley.
See how he kept that glove right down on the ground. Here's Ted Burton, senior first baseman. Ball. Makes it ball 1. You guys made the point about where SEC baseball is now relative to where it was. Georgia, the first team from the SEC to win a championship. That was in '90, and how the West Coast kids have ended up at these SEC schools. Burton's a Huntington Beach, California guy.
Grahovac from Orange, California. Blake Burke from Northern California. Dean Curley from Southern California.
Aiden Schott from Southern California. There's a lot of them playing in this game.
Slow one, and he has plenty of time. Knocked down by Beam. He throws over to first to get Burton. Leadoff walk. Goes by the boards. We head to the 5th. A&M with a 1-0 lead.
Is tough if you're worried about the slider. So that's the challenge for these Tennessee hitters, to pick one and stay committed to it pre-2 strikes.
Billy Amick leads things off, and that first pitch is down, ball 1. Amick, Dreiling, Ensley, 3-4-5 for the Vols.
Has he thrown a fastball under 99? He's been 99 to 101 since he came in.
There's that very tight slider when it's right, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. And we had Kentucky here earlier. They are a terrific defensive team. Burke at first base, 3.6 runs saved at first defensively, and he swallowed up that last one. There's a good fastball at 100 miles an hour. Pretty simple. We're on ABC. Maybe a whole bunch of people haven't watched the College World Series. It's a challenge in hitting a 100-mile-an-hour pitch, Chris.
Being on time and making sure you don't expand the zone. I think starting on time and knowing that you can arrive to the ball in a good hitting position if it's a strike, and then still giving yourself time to discern ball or strike. That's the challenge, because you have to get it started a little earlier against 100.
2-2, and Cortez. This one is a foul ball off the foot, a little delayed call, and now they do call it. Now, all of these guys have seen velocity like this, but do you remember the first time you saw somebody who actually the first time.
Yeah.
Not Machine that threw 100 miles an hour. What was your reaction to it?
Well, I think the first time I saw 100 was Joel Zamaya in big league camp, and he almost hit me in the nose. So, you find out how bad.
Questioning things in your life. Why did I choose this again? Why?
You start figuring out how bad you want to make it in that game when somebody throws 100 at your face.
And Zamaya occasionally, regardless of the fielding problems that Tiger bullpen had eventually, he could throw it up there.
Yeah, and Double-A to me is the first time, especially at that time, where you saw velocity on a regular basis. A lot of the bullpens were at that point in time starting to throw relievers with triple digits, and that became more of a normal thing. But now in college, these guys see it fairly regularly.
Off at the plate. That ultimately is what led David Ortiz to retire. I mean, I really remember having a conversation with him. We walked around Fenway. There's a lot more in that bat. In David Ortiz fashion. Are you crazy? Like, you look, everybody come out of bullpen for 100 mile an hour. I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore.
I'm done fine, thanks.
Are you crazy?
I don't think he had much left to prove.
2-2, 74th pitch. Amick fouls another one off. And this is a good sign for the Vols to keep battling and get Cortez pitch count up.
Just keeps going north. 89 is his high this year. That was against Oregon in the Super Regionals. Went 5 2/3, struck out 10. Ninth pitch of the at-bat upcoming right here.
Plenty of room in left center with Chestnut shaded towards right field. Amick 23, another one of the 20 home run guys on this team. Ball. They called the ball on the pitch, but you check first, and he is punched out.
He had done such a good job at this at-bat of forcing Cortez into the zone, and then gets a slider that's off the plate. Did we? I don't know there. I mean, it's close enough to go either way, but it's definitely not an absolute.
He provides the power, too, and there are so many guys, including this one, who have the ability. If you run into one on a day like this, you can tie this game up on one, and that ball is pulled down the line, and it is just foul.
Yeah, they send plenty of guys up there that can tie this one. It's pretty remarkable the way that Cortez has navigated around all the walks. Tennessee just, that pressure starts to build as they don't come up with the big hit.
Talk about Caden Wilson, the lefty. Tennessee hits lefties as well, if not a little better than they do righties. Is that when it's down? But talking with the staff, they like the left matchups against the Volunteers. The A&M guys do. So Wilson may be next up for A&M as Cortez moves to his 79th pitch.
Ball.
He's such a good pitcher, too. There's just not a lot of action when he's on the mound because you're swinging and missing a lot. Not a lot of balls in play. A lot of pitches, a lot of walks, a lot of strikeouts. 2-2 here to Dreiling. He's gone. Sixth punch out for Cortez.
And the velocity is one thing, Berkey, but this thing, it just takes off. Dreiling even got a little piece of that. Appel able to hold on to it. It's not easy to barrel it up, and it's literally moving the width of home plate from the time it leaves his hand to when it gets in the catcher's glove.
Hunter Ensley steps in with 2 down. Strike one, another one at
80 pitches in.
Yeah.
I'd say the stuff hasn't ticked down.
Not at all.
Since he's trotted out there.
101 miles an hour on the last one.
Ball.
And to his credit, between his ability and Max Weiner, the pitching coach, these types of misses haven't bothered him. That one missed. They struck out 17 times last night, did Tennessee. 8 more times today. 25 strikeouts for the Vols against this A&M staff. 2-1 to Ensley. And this ball is to left off the end of the bat. Cortez gets through it again. Bottom of the 5th, midway through, A&M up 1-0 with a chance to win it all. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Caden Sorrell swings at the first one from Drew Beam. Cortez and Beam both have been punch-out party for them. And Beam, it's been a little bit, didn't strike anybody out in the last inning, and that one misses. Sorrell, Camarillo, both strikeout victims, and then Caden Kent, who reached, of course, because it's Caden Kent and it's the World Series, on a bleeder over the first baseman's head.
Ball.
Three balls and a strike, close to the edge, but an advantage now for Sorrell with Camarillo on deck. Nobody is moving or even in that Volunteer bullpen. A little squiver on the infield, a lot of spin. The fielder throws safe at first base. Curley, and that was an absolute cue ball. Curley backhanded, didn't get a chance to get Sorrell.
Yeah, I think this one hits him right off his knuckles. Sorrell just not quite ready to hit here, gets caught in between, and a jam job that goes kind of into no man's land. You have to take your time because of the way that ball's spinning, and Sorrell just too athletic. Even though he got jammed, did a nice job of getting out of the box, gets to the front of the base and beats that one easily.
How about the last 2 hits he's given up? To Kent and to Sorrell.
They would have splintered with bats, both of them.
Each team now with 3 hits. Here's Camarillo. Tosnego made it a point to tell us, Tennessee, they don't pay a ton of attention to base runners. It looks like Vitello and company have paid attention to what happened last night with the number of steals. And Beam already has 1 pickoff.
Well, the one thing with Beam is it's a really quick pick, but he's slow to the plate. So you can't get too big of a lead, and you can't get too jumpy over there because he will pick you off. But if you can run, you don't have to get a great jump because of the big leg kick.
Ball.
You get to first base against Drew Beam. You're in no hurry. You don't have to extend your lead. As soon as his foot leaves the ground, you've got it. He's probably a 1.45 to the plate, and at that point the math is really in your favor as a base runner.
Sorrell has 9 steals this season. Good look at him with a lead. Not a huge one, and Beam will come to the plate. And now he falls behind 2-0.
So the average catcher is about 2 flat to second base in catch and throw, and you get a pitcher who's 1.45. The math there is 3.45 seconds. Well, most runners are around 3.3, 3.35. So the math is certainly in the base runner's favor.
Gets the call. 2 balls and a strike. Shortstop for the Aggies. Made it all the way to the Little League World Series. And here he is, the biggest stage in college. At Cal State Northridge when he transferred over here, hit really well for them, but he wanted to experience this bigger stage, and he believed in himself. A lot of that is betting on yourself.
Another West Coast player that we didn't mention earlier.
He said he had 5 good options when A&M called, and that, he said, was, quote, a no-brainer.
ball.
3 balls and a strike. You wonder what the impact of Sorrell at first has had on Beam. Starks going out there to slow the whole thing down a little bit for him.
There's nobody up and throwing down in that Tennessee bullpen, but starting to at least move around a little bit right now. Caden Wilson, the freshman left-hander, was up and throwing last inning for Texas A&M.
That's Aaron Combs down there in the Tennessee bullpen. And again, you know, Beam's stuff was so good early. You just had to figure, you had to figure there was going to be a little loss of adrenaline there at some point.
Caden Kent is on deck, and they got a 3-1 count on the way to Camarillo. Chased one, and he's frustrated. That looked like it was ball 4.
Jim Schlossnagle not happy about that. You see him there in the background. It's a huge part of their offense. Lead the country in walks. Chasing 3-1 balls out of the zone will not make their skipper happy.
Big pitch again. Protecting. And fouled it off.
The fastball at 93 with Beam. We saw a lot of 95s earlier.
And it's not just tick down in velocity, it's location. That's the two sometimes go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Velocity starts to tick down, and your misses are not on the correct side of the plate or in spots that aren't going to get you hurt.
3-2. Sorrell not going, and that's pulled foul. The thing that happens in the SEC, you tend to get bigger and stronger, and Camarillo is one of those that came at about 6'1", 170. And he's now 6'2", 185.
He's got a little juice, too. Saw him hit 2 out at LSU earlier this year.
He's loved the traditions at A&M, the 12th man. Everybody's been a little quiet today, wondering when this thing is going to start percolating. 3-2 on the way to Camarillo, and they will go to first. So Combs has now started to throw with a volunteer black. 3-2 to Camarillo. Nobody out. He sends another souvenir to the folks here. See the scene in the hotel lobby last night? A&M won, both in there, and they got all their arms around each other singing the fight song. You literally couldn't move through the lobby.
It was not an easy route to get to the elevators when you got in.
It was impossible. You couldn't get there. It was like a chain. And that's how they were sent off again today. Amazing, amazing support. 3-2, runner does go. That's ball 4.
Ball 4.
So they will have first and second, nobody out. And now Tony Vitello and his staff have to start to think about what to do. Because guess who is coming up in this spot? Caden Kent. You wouldn't have said that 2 weeks ago. Now it feels like Caden Kent, oh my gosh, they can't get that guy out.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago we might have seen a bunt here, and now I just don't think that we will.
They made the call. Made the call before it got to the white line right there.
You guys touched on it. We're not through the 3rd time of the order yet, but a 77 pitch outing with a whole bunch of strikeouts. And his last one, the 7th, came in the 3rd. Enter Mr. Combs. He's going to inherit 2 runners on, nobody out. A&M leads 1-0. Before he goes out, Beam will go out to greet him. And he is stepping to the plate, and he's going to face a new pitcher.
Aaron Combs out of that ball bullpen. Low 3/4, he slings it a little bit. That's what a fastball up in his zone can be pretty good. Pretty low 90s, but there's really good ride on it from an arm slot. You don't always see really good ride on a fastball. That's why that strikeout number is so high. 58 strikeouts in 40 2/3 with a pretty nice slider back behind it.
You don't have Montgomery. He's out. Laviolette, who homered, of course, has been dealing with a hamstring. There may not be a better guy for A&M, one they want up in this situation all of a sudden, than Caden Kent. Single today. He's got runners at first and second in a 1-0 game, and Combs ready for his first one. And that had some salt on it, 94 miles an hour.
That's that one that just stays there. Cortez has a ton of run. It'll move off the plate for Combs. He has really good drive through home plate.
How good has Kent been? A .273 batter, runners in scoring position during the season, over 500 in the tournament. And he pops this one up. Might be playable in foul territory. Stark going over. No one's going to get there as they got real close to the wall and the dugout. And another life for Kent.
Well, you know, this is one of those deals where everybody's trying to sell out to make this play on a ball that's kind of equidistant from all three players.
Oh.
And you just wonder if I think Combs thought Stark didn't see it, and then Stark feels Combs there at the end. And Kyle, we position players tend to like you guys to kind of get out of the way in situations like that.
We would like to make it out is what we're looking to do, and whoever happens to catch the ball, it remains just one out. Holmes thought he had the best chance to get it. Go get the baseball. Equidistant out of nowhere, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good pull.
Dialing it up.
0-2 to Kent. See if this extra life gives him a chance. 0-2 from Combs. Got him. Good pitch and a big pitch from Combs to get Kent.
And there's that breaking ball. And you know, you're expecting high fastball elevated, so you're guarding against that. And then this one just has enough velocity difference to get him a little bit out in front, and enough down action at home plate to get Caden Kent to swing right over the top.
Given the fact that he was 9 for 17, now 9 for 18. What a huge out to have no contact even. And now Chestnut before we go back to the top of the order.
Tennessee anticipating a bunt right here. Blake Burke really playing in at first.
Ball.
Ball one, no indication there from Chestnut that was going to happen. Remember, Kent, last time in this situation, he was at first and he got picked off. Chestnut never had the chance to get the bunt down, and then he struck out.
Burke backed up a couple steps there. Now here he comes.
A&M's, they've only got 5 sack bunts the whole year. They don't do it very often. And I know Chestnut has not had a great offensive College World Series, but it does go a little bit off brand for what they've been if they did lay it down here.
First time in a while A&M has had a chance. That's just off, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And for all the tightrope walking Cortez has done, if A&M can push a few more across, it certainly changed the way that Schlossnagle and Wiener think about how we're going to roll through the rest of these innings. 2 balls and a strike. Outfield fairly deep in there.
You can see that reaction by Chestnut. It's just hard to convince yourself that that pitch where it starts is going to end up back in the zone. It's an atypical stuff look from Combs based on what his arm angle is. The ball reacts different than most to throw from there.
2-2, and there's another one and another big punch out. Aaron Combs getting the job done for the Vols in relief of Bean.
A fastball that starts up in the zone and stays up in the zone, and a breaking ball that from that slot you think there's probably going to be a little bit more side to side, and at least visually it looks like there's more top to bottom than you would expect. 2 straight breaking balls for each of the strikeouts in this inning.
Gavin Grahovac now up. He's the leadoff man. He led off the game last night with a homer. He is landing that breaking pitch again.
Well, we're seeing some pitchers make some pitches in this ball game. I mean, Aaron Combs comes into a first and second, nobody out, and you talk about just dialed. Everything he has thrown has been just about exactly where Cal Stark wants it.
Sorrell leads off second. That's way outside. We go 1 ball, 1 strike. Hayden Sorrell's got good speed at second. Camarillo, the shortstop, also has got good speed at first base. .23 home runs on the season for this guy, Grahovac, just a freshman.
call.
They will throw behind the runner. That's close. Wow, did they time that up?
There's no combo in the country that's better at doing that than those two. And I don't think they got him. Let's take another look. Look at the timing on this, Burke. I mean,
Did he get the helmet? If he gets the helmet, I think he's out.
I think you're right. I think he got the bill of the helmet before that right hand got back in there. I mean, it is start from the knees, a seed down to first, and in stride, Blake Burke catching it, dropping the tag down. And you can see the bill of the helmet move.
Tennessee's begun to walk off the field. They believe they've seen enough.
It's just remarkable. It reminds me of Molina and Pujols. The timing and their ability to do it to get out of jams right there on the bill of the cap before the hands arrive.
The Mind Fly body cam call was safe at first base. Imagine if they had Kent picked off and Camarillo picked off in a 1-0 game.
After review, the safe call at first base will be overturned to out.
Wow.
Tennessee retains that challenge and still has 2 remaining for the game.
Rubin got credit for one, Cal Stark for another, and Blake Burke's been involved in both. Big play. With Stark and Burke, like a football quarterback and a receiver, corner of the end zone. Twice now they have challenged, twice the calls have been overturned successfully. Tears leads things off. It's 1-0. We're in the 6th. He swings and misses at the first one. At 98 miles an hour.
There's your first 98, KP.
He's dipping down.
It's been a bit of a break for him between his last pitch and this one. Now the 0-1, and there's a wicked changeup.
Wow, it's first one of the game. He'd been all fastball slider up to that point.
How about that? Just 85 pitches in, drop a changeup in there.
He got him to swing and miss, and that's a foul ball. Foul ball.
Foul ball! Foul ball!
Oh, man. I don't know about that.
All right, so A&M had one unsuccessful challenge earlier. They got one left.
No,
I don't think that's a foul ball.
That's not a foul ball.
But do you burn it now?
He almost looked like he was trying to convince him that maybe on the bounce somehow he did it. That wasn't a foul ball. And that ball did not get far enough away from Appel that Tears was going to get to first base. So he now gets another chance, 0-2. Seen a couple of changeups, and he goes with a fastball, and he fouls that out of play. Back up to 100 miles an hour.
Circle this one. You know, 0-2 count. Still a tall hill to climb, but a hitter as dangerous as Kavares Tears, when you have him struck out, you certainly don't want to give him an extra strike.
Another changeup, Chris.
Guys, that big play has turned around the energy in this Tennessee dugout as alive as I've seen it in the last 2 days, and you get yesterday, but even today, very quiet early on in comparison to what you usually hear out of a Tennessee dugout, feeling like momentum switching in their way.
Momentum is going to switch in their way if that bullpen door opens. Because Cortez has been that good on the mound. I mean, the stuff has been off the charts good for the first 4 innings, and then he throws 3 changeups in that at-bat that were all outstanding.
He's got 7 strikeouts. Pitch number 90. And he throws a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
That is now a season high in pitches for Cortez.
Could not have gotten more from Chris Cortez on in relief. He came in the 2nd. And he's working quickly to 0-2.
As nice as the defensive momentum is, this is a momentum stealer right here on the mound with just how electric the stuff has been, and the command really has started to settle in a little bit here too the last few innings.
0-2 to Curley. Well, so far, I get it's 1-0, but, you know, you thought about going into it with no Cedillo. A&M needed to get a lot of runs last night and not use this guy. They did it. They needed this guy to be great today, and so far he has been.
Yeah, it's kind of gone on script to this point for Jim Schlossnagle.
One swing can tie this game up. Still quiet in the A&M bullpen. Curley flown out twice today. Watch it. How many bullets does he have in that holster of his? 101 on his 94th pitch.
And it's smoking out there. Like, the workload is one thing, but the conditions on top of it, and nothing about what he's doing out there looks like he's fatigued.
He's flexing that right hand a lot. What is that? What's he doing there, Kai? You see him on the mound? He's doing this with his hand.
Did not see it.
Hope he's not cramping.
It makes sense on a day like this.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Rav. He is.
One-two. That's lined into right field. He left one up. And Dean Curley is aboard with one out on a 100-mile-an-hour heater. He is at first base. We remind everybody, tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, ABC, Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals. It's presented by Geico. Let's see, could the Panthers claim that first cup in franchise history on home ice? Or will the Oilers join the 42 Leafs as the only NHL teams to win the cup after going down 3-0? Find out tomorrow night. Coverage with the point starts at 7 on ESPN 2. Here's Peebles. And that pitch misses. Curley's got 9 steals on the year. One down. We are in the 6th. A&M up 1-0. They win the World Series.
Ball, it's out.
When will they get Wilson up and throwing again? He was already on the mound. A freshman who has great stuff, but was thrown 8 2/3 innings the entire year.
That's a bad one. It gets by. And now down to scoring position goes Dean Curley.
He's one pitch away from walking Peoples for the 3rd time. Pretty remarkable the way that he has not handled the bottom of the order, yet navigated the top and the middle.
And that huge comeback against Florida State, the mantra was just get it back to Christian Moore. Well, you got Peebles here in the A spot. Stark bats 9th, and it's a 3-0 count.
Ball 4.
That's ball 4. They throw behind the runner. They will have 2 on and 1 out for the 9-hole hitter Stark.
Let Stark hit here. You got Peebles in there as a DH. Makes it a little bit tougher defensively.
Yeah.
Looks like they will.
Yeah, I think Stark's going to.
Like the athletic trainer is going out too. I wonder if they saw the same thing with the hand.
It's Kaylee Swain, the athletic director, is kind of a do-everything role for this A&M team. But I think Schloss might have seen what you saw a few pitches ago, Ralph.
KP, you find yourself in that position on the mound, or is that
it's usually like flexor stuff to where there's something not feeling quite right in your forearm, and that's going to be it for Cortez, who pretty outstanding day for Texas A&M, man. You knew if they were going to have a chance in this game, it was early lead, and then how far can Cortez go? Well, they've got the early lead. Cortez will exit in the 6th. Now it'll be up to a freshman left-hander to keep it right where it is for the Aggies.
They are a double play away from getting out of the inning as Wilson's first one is in there for a strike. 96 miles an hour. out of the gate. Grahovac comes even with the bag at third. Everyone else is back. Curley is the runner at second base. Peebles at first.
Ball.
That was just straight sack right there. The first one almost looked like a bunt for a hit. That one was early. Of course, Stark has really scuffled here in the College World Series, so just move them over, present an opportunity for Simo to hit with second and third, and make them make that decision whether they want to pitch to him or not.
Ball, it's out.
2-1, you keep it on?
I would say so. Maybe 3-1. You think differently?
Two-one. Stark, ground ball third. Grahovac will go to second for one to first. Oh, they turn it. Grahovac and Kent on a big 5-4-3 double play. And what a seed Kent just threw to first.
They just keep delivering. I mean, Caden Wilson comes in out of the bullpen and just jams Cal Stark, and then Grahovac with the runner right there in front of him feeds Kent a perfect turn. And man, the Aggies just keep working out of jams, this time with their defense.
To the bottom of the sixth. What a duel. 1-0. 7 hits combined between the two. Tennessee struggles. 0 for 14 with runners on. 0 for 6 runners in scoring position. Strike one. Remember, Grahovac had the bat taken out of his hands when Camarillo was picked off. One ball, one strike. The bullpens, the arms today have been outstanding, and this is why you sign up, man. If they'll take you, this is why you go to these schools. Get to Omaha, get yourself right into the middle of the frying pan. How good has the pitching been? This has been an SEC that's been dominant with offense and defense in particular through this World Series. Pitching has shined on this Sunday.
Yeah, just one solo homer. That's it. And from Texas A&M standpoint, the fact that they're at this part of their pitching usage with their staff, and they've held the #1 offense in the country to a goose egg through 6, it's just remarkable.
1-2.
Ball.
Inside 2-2. Rauschenbeck pitched yesterday. He's the premier closer. They'd love not to think about Lampkin in this situation. Save him for tomorrow. We're on a 2-2.
Foul.
But a couple of more runs, and that was at least part of the conversation. Like, just part of it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. But he said, look, we're up 3-4-5. Is that when you go for it and try to end this thing?
If they're ahead at all, I'm shocked if he doesn't try it in at some point. Whatever the score is.
Rauschenbeck.
Yes.
Ball.
Outside 3-2. But he brought up Lampkin pregame if he said 4 or 5 run lead.
I would agree with that. I think if there's more distance, then potentially, because you got a little bit more wiggle room.
3-2, and he fished. How about Boone's 3 punch-outs? Here we go in the first inning. Jace Laviolette, that's been the offense. That is the only run we've had. His home run to the seats in right. And it was a no doubt about it shot, 415 feet.
Just a no-doubter when it left its bat, and who'd have thought that would be the only offense at that point in the ballgame. Second hitter of the game, it's a solo homer, and that's where we stand.
And the wind blowing from right field to left field. But Laviolette's got the body, the power to hit it out at any point. 29 on the season, the 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. The impact of the injuries to this A&M team been felt a little bit offensively because you don't have a whole bunch other than Montgomery when he's in there, and then Laviolette, who can go over the wall. They have some, but that's such a huge bat. Yeah. And now a 3-0 count to Laviolette, who would get the green light, right? 3-0?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Especially given his hampered ability to run the bases.
Tennessee thinking the way we were. 3-0 breaking ball. And that's not just to throw a strike. Aaron Combs has no problem throwing that fastball for a strike, but cannot give up one at this point in the ball game on a 3-0 fastball.
Just missed on that 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and you can feel the breeze just get to this booth up here. Big swing from Jace Laviolette. 3 balls on the right side of the infield on a 3-2. They almost hit him. And they walk to Laviolette will bring up Appel with 1 down.
Jim Schlesinger paid this Tennessee pitching staff a really big compliment before coming into this series. It was talking about the variety that they have out of their bullpen, and it may not be overall like off the chart Cortez throw 100 stuff, but man, can they show you a bunch of different looks and pieces and parts, and it's why their pitching numbers have been about as good as anybody in the country this year. And the guy on the right's a big reason why. Frank Anderson is great with it.
Jackson Appel next up. That ball is high. Just as one note, too, on that phenomenal play by Grohovac and Kent. That was the first ground ball double play that Starks hit into all season. Good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's pretty hard to believe.
First one all year. He does it against a freshman, Wilson, thrown into the game. Grohovac, I love that. The concentration. Forget about the runner just coming right at him. Go to second, and Kent turned it. They've had 2 guys caught at first base. Beam picked off 1, and then we saw Stark and Burke get involved. Laviolette shouldn't be at all with a big lead, given his hamstring issue.
Yeah, I'd say all the runners at first would be a little gunshot at this point of either getting a lead or getting an aggressive secondary. Part of the value that Cal Stark brings. He just scares you about getting too aggressive off first base.
1-2, Appel very late on that last breaking pitch, but this one is into right field. That's going to get down, and Laviolette will put the brakes right there. But A&M now, second inning in a row, they've had a runner in scoring position after Appel singles to right. Now a really good veteran, experienced hitter comes up in Hayden Schott.
Anything that gets you locked in, it's a little George Michael with guys on first and second. Careless whisper to walk him up.
That's hype music if I've ever heard it. Right there.
Combs to Schott. He spins one in there for strike 1. Single and a double last night for Schott. A .332 batting average on the season, 8 home runs. And again, Laviolette doesn't have a ton of speed out there at second base. Tears in right field, Ensley in center field, Dreiling in left field. Be on the attack if one gets to them in the outfield. And this one is driven to center field. Ensley going back. He's at the track, and that's where it will fall into his glove. Laviolette will tag, and he will get to third. He looked like he was running pretty well. First and third, Schott gave it a ride, comes up to the track, and there are 2 away.
That ball's hammered to left center field. We're not doing a ton right now, just a big yard out there, up 380 foot out. As Hayden Schott maybe just clipped it a touch. But yeah, KP, Hunter Inslee moving just fine going after that one.
Hayden Schott was on SEC Now last night. They were talking to him just about the experience, and he's like, my two favorite things here: free meals and hanging out with my friends. He's like, those things are great wherever you are, and every day we get to stay longer, it's more free food and more time I get to hang out with my buddies.
First and third for Ted Burton. 2 down. He's gotten ahead with the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, breaking ball command has been fantastic for Combs. Dump that thing in there almost whenever he needs it.
Can Burton deliver? This ball driven to right field. That one's fairly deep. Tears going over, and he's there to make the play. That time, the wind knocked it down. They will strand the runner at third base. Heading to the 7th, the top of the order for the Falls coming up when we come back.
Logical.
This game.
Yeah. We had the #1 overall seed win it this year in the basketball tournament, which doesn't actually happen as much as I thought. I think it's like 3 times, only 3 times this century as well. But baseball 0.
Barnes, Buzz Williams had great basketball teams this year in the SEC. Here we go with more. Top of the order, Tennessee down 1-0 in the 7th. 1 ball, no strikes. It's just amazing the arms that we see. Here comes Tony Vitello out.
Wants to check it. Did it hit him?
See if it hit him.
The ruling on the field is that there was no hit by pitch. Tennessee wants to challenge that ruling. The previous play is under review.
Wouldn't you go totally off Christian Moore on this one?
Did he say that it did?
I don't think so. That's not even close.
That is really odd.
Is there an ulterior motive here? Is there slow Wilson down?
Maybe you want the freshman just to stand in the heat for a minute. And he's got 2 left because each of the 2 that they've used have been successful. This may be more of a mental play than anything else right here. Just make him stand out there.
That's where I go, because it wasn't close.
After review, it's confirmed that the pitch did not hit the batter. The count's 1-0. Tennessee is charged with 1 challenge and has 1 remaining for the game.
Yeah, I'm with you though, KP. That's one where you just ask Simo.
Yeah, did it or don't. Because I mean, they're going to be able to tell when they slow it down.
He said, "You sure?" So he must have said no.
Ball.
Pitching again inside to Moore, who is an absolute threat at the plate. He's good an athlete who was born to play baseball. Kid out of Brooklyn, New York. Suffield Academy in Connecticut. Big brother taught him a lot. On the 2-0. Popped up. Might be playable. Appel didn't see it. Now he comes over, and that's exactly the same spot.
Yeah.
But the Vols didn't have the play made. Exactly the same spot. And Appel never really saw that. You can see there was some great hesitation.
No, Ted Burton wasn't in the picture either.
Not at all.
Good job by Caden Wilson of staying out of the way. Yeah, Appel doesn't see it at all.
That's way late.
He's battling the sun.
This is not really the guy at the plate you want to give an extra chance here.
33 homers, 73 RBI, 2-1 to Moore.
Foul.
Well, there's your answer to the question about Evan Oschenbeck. He of the 154 ERA, stopper of the year credentials, pitched last night. The outfield is playing very deep against this guy. And rightfully so. Hit one through the wind at 117 miles an hour to straightaway center for a homer earlier this week. 2-2. Freshman delivers. Challenged him at 97. He fouls it back.
This left-handed arm through 8 2/3 innings this year. He came in and gets him out of a huge jam and just pumped 97.
Aschenbeck threw 46 pitches last night. 34 was for strikes. 2-2 to Moore. Ball. Trying to bend one in. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Moore led this game off with a single and then stole. He was at second base and was stranded there. A 1-on-1 battle between hitter and pitcher. And he lost him. Leadoff walk, pumping his fist and getting the dugout into it is Christian Moore.
Well, it just feels like this is the inning for Tennessee. Aschenbeck now moving like he's planning on coming into this ball game. Moore takes that fastball up and out of the plate, getting the bench fired up. You got a couple more cracks at this top of the order, probably, if you're Tennessee. And the way this game feels, this one feels like they got to cash in. Another leadoff runner on.
Moore has now reached base 3 times today with a couple of walks. And here is Blake Burke.
Beach ball. We got a beach ball in center field.
All right, we're getting late here. Let's beach ball time's over. In the 7th. Let's
pass the cutoff.
Yeah, you kind of do it ball 5 or 6.
Okay. Okay.
Now we're getting to the point that you just keep in your pocket. If we got a game tomorrow, you can go at it again early.
So Wilson is ready. Aschenbeck keeps throwing, and Blake Burke is an absolute threat. Filthy pitch, 83 and a strike.
Tennessee has now had the leadoff man on 5 of 7 innings. The previous 4 times they have not scored. You just saw their numbers with runners in scoring position today.
And it's been the guy behind the leadoff guy who has made it out in all of them. Tough pitch down and away. Called strike against Burke.
Sweeping breaking ball, and then you back it up with 95 right on the edge. He got 2 outs in SEC play this year. 2.
It looks like somebody that could have got a lot more right now. Oof, didn't miss by much. And it goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Falls looking for that one big bolt. Out of play.
How would you describe Blake Burke's offensive changes from the first 2 years to now?
I think swings like you just saw right there, just the ability to kind of defend the strike zone, and he's developed a 2-strike approach that has really evolved from his first 2 years on campus. I think everything early was his A+ swing. Everything early was the intent to hit a tape measure home run. And this year it's been so much more to the backside of the field and much more of cutting down on his swing with 2 strikes. 20 more doubles this year
than the last 2 years combined.
Excuse me.
The 1-2 pitch is on the way to Burke. Swings and sends this to center field. Chestnut backs up. And he's there, a big out. And Moore tags. And a heck of a job base running by Moore. As he gets into scoring position on a fly ball deep to center field.
That's knowing your ballpark right there. His ball's deep, not quite to the track, but deep enough where Christian Moore feels like he can gather. Chestnut not expecting it. No. I don't know if anybody was telling him. He never gets behind the baseball, and that's where you really have to rely on your corner outfielders there to tell you Simo might have got a scab there. It's pretty dry out there on that infield. It wouldn't surprise me if there's you see the rip in his pants. Or is it a hand deal?
I'll have to take another look. Was grabbing with his right hand at the right hamstring, but clearly looking at that hand. He slid into second base. Is that a communication thing with Chestnut as he continues to talk to the athlete? Because
your corner outfielders have to be telling you, and you'd love your infielder to be screaming it too, your cutoff guy, but he clearly had no idea. I mean, it's his job to catch the ball. Somebody else has got to be telling him that they're tagging, because that's a non-traditional tag play.
Fair. But just assume that he might tag. I mean, there's no reason to catch it and not be in a position where you can make a throw.
It didn't look like he was hurt at first. That's interesting. I hear you, KP. I just think, the runner tagging at first is a very rare play on the ball to center field. But yeah, Chestnut certainly could have anticipated it.
Joe Madden with the respect 90, always respect 90 feet, and he moved up, and now Amick's got a chance to bring him in and tie the game up with a hit. He lifts one to right field on the first pitch. Now Laviolette, and we'll see if more goes here. He fakes it and doesn't, and a really strong throw from Laviolette. A big out for Amick, who's 0 for 4 today.
Tennessee now 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 16 with men on base.
It's up to Dylan Dreiling now here in the 7th with 2 down. The freshman keeps throwing. Ostenbeck still warming. Starts him off with a breaking pitch to get ahead 0-1.
This kid looks like he started on Friday night the whole year in the SEC. Just dropping a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate for strike 1, left on left.
Dreiling over 2. The fielder's choice. Balls outside. Against this offense, it feels almost impossible to have as many leadoff men aboard in an inning and runners in scoring position and continue to have a 0 on the board. That ball is hammered, and that may end the 0. It is gone! Dylan Dreiling exits stage right, 22nd of the year, and the Vols finally break through to lead it 2-1. It was a fastball that came in at 94 and went out at $105.
If you're Ostenbeck, you can sit down in that bullpen right now because there's no chance you're going to go to. I don't think there's any chance you go to him unless you get the lead back. And for the freshman, just try to get that offense back in the dugout.
Popped up. Kent's going back. Laviolette's coming in. He'll yield to the right fielder, who will make the play. Didn't it feel like a matter of time? I mean, they were knocking at the door.
It took a while, but leave it up to Mr. Dreiling, the man who has been so clutch. The walk-off base hit to beat Florida State earlier comes up with the biggest swing of the day. This Tennessee offense needed something to get them going. Their left fielder delivers. The Vols take a 1-run lead.
Caden Sorrell leads things off. And that first pitch is poured in there. Holmes has done a good job in relief here for the Vols. Sorrell, Camarillo, Caden, Kent. Pitching today has been tremendous, just with the array of pitches. Fastball, breaking ball, change-ups. Guys with limited experience. Swing and a miss, and Holmes Punches out Sorrell. I tell you guys, I thought Moore's at bat was huge. His message to the dugout, just taking those extra 90.
Yes.
I thought that was a big inning by Moore, who's reached 3 times today.
It doesn't hurt when the next guy hits it about 400 feet to right. But the momentum piece, just by getting your leadoff man on and having it be Christian Moore, then Dreiling does what he's done a lot this year, is come up in big spots. It does feel like for Tennessee, it's a similar approach than it was for A&M on the mound. Like Aaron Combs, when you come in the game, you're going to go as long as you possibly can if this keeps happening. And so far, since he's come in the game, he's been really good.
And he is throwing into that strike zone at a very, very high clip. Rubin had just given up 1 when he came out. And they were waiting for that offense to finally explode. Home team down a run, and that is off.
And Cal Stark fired up behind the plate.
Sure did.
He's pointing out at Combs the last 2 pitches. Liked where the 0-2 was. Close enough. He may be able to get a strike, but off the plate. Wanted to break a ball there and got it.
1-2. He got another strikeout.
This pitch has been so important for Combs since he's come out, but just imagine yourself right on right. You got a guy that's throwing from a low 3/4, almost sidearm slot, and then the action is that when it gets to home plate. It's why the outcome is that a fair amount too. Not easy to hold up, not easy to drive the other way. Now back-to-back strikeouts in the 7th for Combs.
He pitched against Kentucky back in April. He helped him get a series win over the Cats. As Kent swings and misses. Christian Moore was asked after the game to describe Combs. He used 3 words: unhittable, disgusting, and gross.
It's a good combo.
Yep, Kent puts this one up to left. Dreiling. He's there. Those are good things, by the way, for a pitcher. Unhittable, disgusting, and gross. We're through 7. It's 2-1 ball. So that was where the seed was planted. He started thinking like a coach. On the playground, he said, I'd be the guy setting the teams up. I'm in charge here. Tears is gone. And about his dad, by the way, he did say, I was scared to death of that guy. He was a disciplinarian. And I think Tony, too, knows, as your folks get older and have an opportunity to see this, he mentioned, like, this is important. I'd love to win one for, mom and dad.
Oh, it's cool how the roles reverse, too. Right now, his dad's his biggest fan. Doesn't miss many. Has been a part of cheering his boy on ever since he took the helm here.
He fed us in Knoxville last year. Had the grill fired up on right field, brought a whole plate full of food up. I'm a big Greg fan.
Ball.
A little volunteer. Was that an Augusta little emblem there on that shirt? Did you see that?
The little guy?
No, the dad. On the corner, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah. Like that.
Your eyes are always trained to golf.
Well,
Rav doesn't miss a thing.
That's a familiar one there. 1 ball, 1 strike. In there on the corner.
Small thing, but the way that Appel received that breaking ball, knowing that you got to wait as long as you can to let it come back over home plate, I think he's got a chance to play for a while. He's very, very kind of sneaky good behind home plate.
Yeah, he'd like to play for a while because being a Penn guy with a finance degree, kind of jokingly said, so are you going to manage money? Like, what are you going to do with it? And then he kind of pressed pause and said, well, once I'm done with baseball. But not here when I'm done playing this sport.
He's going to be a good draft this year.
2-2. Curley hit that one on a line, and that one is into left field. Dean Curley's had a couple of hits here his last 2 times up. Freshman on a big stage delivers. They threw behind him, and he got back in time.
We were talking to Tony Vitelli the other day in our meeting about the leaders now and then who are the next ones. Who are the ones that are coming? Dean Curley was the first name that came up. He's just a freshman. But I think the way that he's handled being a freshman shortstop in the SEC for the #1 team in the country offensively has had a really productive freshman year, but has that feel of one of the next guys that really is a leader.
Very steady personality.
Here's Peebles. Ball. Wilson misses down. 2-1 in favor of the Vols thanks to a Dreiling 2-run shot in the top of the 7th inning. They had more opportunities you can imagine and couldn't deliver. And finally, a big 2-run home run. And now Peebles will try to add to that.
Hadn't seen many of those today. 3 walks and 3 at-bats for Cannon Peebles. There's a strike right down Broadway. I give Curley and Peebles a lot of credit. 5 times on base between the 7 and 8 hole hitters at the bottom of this Tennessee order.
Pretty disciplined hitter, numbers say. Doesn't chase very often. Especially a slider, and a lefty will try to do that to a righty. 13% chase rate on that pitch. The average is about 25%. He got the ability to hit it hard, too. A couple of homers on a 2-1. It's in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Over the course of the year for Peebles, 30 walks, 31 strikeouts.
Hard to do. Miss. Aiden Wilson continues to impress.
I love is he's come in and thrown strikes, and he did it right away. And he's not afraid to challenge. I think the one thing that you have concern with over guys that haven't been on this stage, are you going to try to miss bats nonstop and fall behind in counts, and then that's where this offense can really get you. He has been aggressive with the fastball. Obviously made the one mistake that Dreiling made him pay for, but freshman has looked just fine on this stage.
2 down for Cal Stark. The 9-hole hitter hit into a 5-4-3 double play his last time up. And again, mixing in an off-speed slow pitch at 81 miles an hour to jump ahead.
Ball.
Just down. Real hot, humid day, too, down there. About 89 degrees. Tomorrow expected triple-digit temperatures. Game 3, if there is one, will be tomorrow night at 7 Eastern time on ESPN. Swing and a miss. Pull that string at 84. Looking ahead for A&M, scheduled up the 9-hitter Chestnut and back to the top of the order. 2-2 with 2 down. Whoa, look out. That came off, and it looked like some of the handle or something else may have flown as well. This is thumb guard. Christian Moore, ever the teammate, rushes over there, tries off the bat.
Wow. It's very rare on a fastball swing where you see a hitter just totally lose the bat the way Stark did right there. A little extra sprays with a stick-em.
Whatever happened to pine tar? Just disappear?
No, I think
really
some guys, yeah. I feel like most guys now use it for the look more than the use.
Need the smell to come back. The smell and the look to come back.
2-2 to start. Curley off of first. 2 down, top 8. That ball is driven to left field. He's watching. So is everyone else. It's out of here. Cal Stark, the 9-hole hitter, the catcher, hits his 11th and opens it up for the Vols. His first hit here in Omaha. 4-1 Tennessee. Another one that froze the defenders. They weren't moving as they all watched.
2-2, they decide to go breaking ball, and that is a hanging slider just begging to be launched. And Cal Stark, who was 0 for 16 to this point at the College World Series, a 2-run bomb into the left field seats. And it is 4-1 Vols as the home run, as it so often does, stretches the Vols lead.
It doesn't matter what temperature it is, the fur coat is out. Home runs aplenty. They got 2 late in the game yesterday in a loss. They've got 2 late in the game here, and they look like they're going to force a game 3. 35 matching the number we had last year. And it looks like, not for sure, but it looks like we'll see another game tomorrow night. Still, though, the home team's going to have a couple of chances. They trail only by 3.
Brock Perrier, he's going to throw from down under just like his dad did. Arizona State years ago. On for the 24th appearance. Different look for Christian Moore right here.
Vols bats. They woke up late last night, just had too big of a deficit. Today, they were only down 1, and now they lead by 3 thanks to a couple of bombs. Stark was 0 for 16 with 9 strikeouts before he hit that one as Moore swings and misses. It's a Vol team that scores more than half their runs via the homer. And it's a good time to bury an Uncrustable, the hitting hero, the catcher tonight. That's way outside.
When's a bad time? Is there a bad time to bury? I mean, I know you're not a huge Uncrustable fan, but
I'd say the majority of people would go Uncrustable at any time of the day, night, early morning.
Post-homer, all that.
For sure, post-homer. Uncrustable. God bless you. 2-1 to Moore, who was an instigator his last time up. That ball had a lot of break on it. He had the walk. And then he, remember, took second on the fly ball to center field. And that brought up Dylan Dreiling with 2 outs and big fly to right to give them the lead. 3-1, good pitch to hit from Moore. He sends this one to the seats and right. Tyler McDaniel, big fan of what Christian Moore can do, and he's not alone in the fandom. Moore will be a next-level MLB player. There's so much noise in that bat of his. 3-2. This one to right field. That sends Laviolette back. He is there, and he will make the catch just shy of the wall. Not enough juice for Moore, but they do get 2 more. They lead 4-1. We go bottom 8 at the World Series. Senior out of Parker, Colorado. Bard will lead things off for A&M. He will bat for Chestnut in the 9 spot. And now A&M needs base runners. Strike 1. the second. Charged by Moore. He will go underhand with the glove. It's a thing in this game. That's the second time we've seen it. Hard retired.
Caden Kent's was a little more clutch, a little more dramatic at the time, but very similar play by both second basemen in this game.
Bard retired, back to the top. Rahovac struck out a couple of times today.
Ball.
If it does go to a game 3, you got a couple of lefties to start who have both been really, really good. Lampkin and Segrist for Tennessee.
Yeah, I think both coaching staffs will feel pretty good about the guy they're sending to the bump tomorrow if that plays out.
Justin Lampkin has 2 starts here. He hadn't given up a run. 8 innings. Xander Seacrest probably been Tennessee's best starter if you look at the balance of the entire season.
That's a good pitch. You can hear the grunt, too. We go 1-2. Lampkin pitched Wednesday, and he also pitched Saturday. Both of those games were against the Gators. 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs allowed by Lampkin. 1-2. That ball was up in the zone. This one will send Tears back, and he's under it to make the play.
Obviously, Tennessee needed runs, and the 2-run shots made the difference. But Aaron Combs has come out of this bullpen and kept things right where they were when he walked in. A couple of strikeouts early. The breaking ball has really played today against either righties or lefties. 5 strikeouts for Combs. He's given up just 1 hit since coming in the game in the 5th inning. And gave this offense enough time to get going.
Yeah. And there's a 0 in that earned run or run column. That's going to give your offense time. He's been dynamite, and he has gotten ahead of everybody. Winning that 0-0 and 1-1 count, a priority for pitching coaches. And these teams today have really listened to that. It's been great. Rocky Top rises. Laviolette will take a quick timeout.
This town, by the way, is going to be hopping tomorrow night if we have a game 3.
How are they going to be tonight?
Tonight will not be muted.
We've got a full Sunday night in the great city of Omaha, Nebraska. Doors open. 0-2. Combs outstanding with his 5 punch-outs. Got 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. He misses there, high and away. To first, that one gets through. Laviolette hit it right between Burke and Moore. They will throw behind him. He dives back safely. Good sign, though, for A&M. Laviolette now with a couple of hits, and he has reached all 4 times today.
Yeah, it really is. This is a superstar player who's just been scuffling with the bat here lately. We saw him launch one earlier. Watch him go down and get this one. That's a big man going down. Doesn't over-rotate with the backside, but gets down into that back knee, gets the barrel just enough to that baseball to squeak it through Burke and Moore. There wasn't a lot of room there.
No.
To navigate between those two, and Laviolette's able to do it as he's had a really nice day.
He's also moving pretty well.
He is.
I mean, that was a hard turn on first base right there. And you go back 5 days, I didn't think he would be moving that way at all.
Yeah, I thought the tell was when he tagged up and went from second to third. He ran real well there. But a couple of nights ago, he had a cringe look on his face, tagging up from third base, and couldn't catch a ball in right field that required him to move. Now Appel trying to bring him a little closer with 2 down in the 8th.
Ball
1. A&M 1 for 8 with runners on. They have obviously not had a ton of opportunities. That one was called a ball. And it's now 2 balls, no strikes. Looks like some action in the volunteer pen right now. Three balls, no strikes. And you run the risk, as you see Kirby Cannell warming, of bringing the tying run to the plate.
Yeah, as hard as the runs have been to come by in this ball game, you're just one pitch away from bringing a very dangerous hitter to the plate with a chance to tie this ball game up.
Who will face Hayden Schott? First pitching coach meeting. Big smile on his face. Up by 3, going out to talk to Combs. He's given up a single here and a walk with 2 down in the 8th.
It's a heavy workload for Combs. I mean, this is a guy that hasn't had a ton of outings where he's gone this deep into the ballgame. 3 1/3 earlier in the College World Series, so no stranger to being out here at this point in the ballgame. By the same token, 58 pitches, starting to get there to the back end of what he's stretched out to do.
Well, and for most of it, there was no room for error. I mean, you felt like he had to go out there and not give an inch just based on what it was. Now they've given him a little bit. You also got the Aggie crowd back into it. You throw 4 straight, they remind you of it.
Hayden Schott described this experience, his 2 favorite parts of being in Omaha were the food and hanging out with friends. That could all change about what moves to the top of the list with his favorite memory of Omaha with 1 big swing. He is the tying run with 2 down in the 8th. Called strike 1. There is no ball 5. Eight home runs on the season for Schott. And he popped it up. Left field. Dreiling. Making sure his center fielder Ensley stays where he was. That's a souvenir for the fans in left. They strand 2. They stick with Combs, and he gets it done. And Schlossnagel has made a whole bunch of changes in the field. We'll get him to you in a minute, but Sorrell has moved from right field to left field. Laviolette now moves to center field. Feel good about his ability to move. Bell is at second. Kent is at third. And Grahovac moves from third out into left field. You get all that, Berkeley?
Kind of.
Sorrell right field from left. Grahovac third base to left field. Kent second to third. Bell inserted at second base.
Got it.
Laviolette is in center field.
Dialed now.
Locked in. They've done it today without Blake Burke. And that one is sent sky high and over everything to the street behind Charles Schwab Field. So if you're out there standing, all of a sudden a ball just not expecting. Not expecting that. It's hard to hit a reverse fly ball that far. Fastball will go 92 to 95, and he can mix in a changeup as well, which we just saw right there. The Volunteers have made a living, everybody, with the long ball this year. Record number of homers, and they have put themselves in a position here as we enter the 9th inning to perhaps play for a national championship tomorrow night. Swing and a miss. Chased by Burke up top.
How about the arms they keep bringing in out of the bullpen?
I mean, Weston Boston's been out there more this year. His 20th appearance, he's got to have 2 starts, but he's running 94 up and above the letters to get Blake Berg.
In the same way Laviolette has gotten going for A&M, Tennessee would benefit from seeing Amick get going. 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. Struck out a couple of times in the first game of this finals. Then he walked and got a late hit. This is a big bat in this spot. And fouls one back.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious he's not seeing the ball well. First couple bats especially. And then that third at bat was the check swing. So, I mean, by all intents and purposes, he basically struck out looking his first 3 at bats. And this is a guy that swings from a swing percentage standpoint as much as anybody. You know he's not seeing it well if he's not pulling the trigger.
0-2, that hurt. And one of the things these guys talk about a lot this year with Tennessee is the closeness, the chemistry that they had. Now, without saying it, it implies that last year it wasn't as good as it is this year. I don't know what they did to foster that. They circled Burke as one of the guys that they gravitate towards. There's certainly a whole bunch, and you can see the way Moore handles himself with regards to the rest of the team.
I think that's a big part of it. Last year, Burke and Moore were sophomores trying to find their footing as leaders, and this year, another year more experienced. They've really grown into that role. And it's always nice when your best 2 players also raise their hand to lead, and I think that's exactly what's happened with this club.
2 balls, 2 strikes. See if Amick can get it going. 1 out in the 9th.
Ball.
95, and he overthrew that one. Now we're full 3 balls, 2 strikes. Possibility for a rare double-double here in Omaha. You had the 2 days off, very rare, and then maybe a game 3. On the ground to second. Bell over there. He makes it look easy there at 2 down. Game 3, A&M, Tennessee. How's the ticket price going to be for that bad boy?
The walk-in price yesterday, right before game time, was $400 just to get in the door. You got to think on a Monday night game 3 that it's not going to be an easy ticket. No, I don't have it.
Ball. The answer is no.
Dryling has been as clutch as anybody on this team here in Omaha. And he looks at 1 down, 2 balls, no strikes. The Florida State game is the circle game for them in Omaha. And if they get to tomorrow night, that'll become that game. But an amazing comeback in their first one as he sends that straight back. There wasn't a lot of panic either when you talked to the players before the game. Vitello about being down 1-0 going up against A&M in this game. Again, they had not lost 2 in a row since March.
Yeah, I think this team liked their spot. Now, the Aggies had different things in mind. The pitching performance from Texas A&M for the vast majority of this ballgame was absolutely incredible. But I think it sets up tomorrow. If the Aggies don't make a rally here, it sets up tomorrow to be another kind of pitching duel.
3-1 pitch. Dryling rips that one on 1 hop. It's fielded over there cleanly, and that will do it. We're going bottom 9 here in Omaha. Game 2 of the College World Series Finals. Tennessee wins. We'll see you tomorrow night. A&M pulls a comeback, and it's over. We certainly appear 3 outs away from getting to a game 3.
Can Aaron Combs close it out? This is a heavy workload. Longest outing of the year, 4 2/3. Does he have 3 more outs in him?
Looks like Ariel Antigua's gone to play second base, so Moore taken out of the game here for Tennessee. And there he is. 0-1. It'll be Burton, Sorrell, Camarillo. That one hung right over the center of the plate. Burton came up in the 6th inning. He had 2 men on. He flew out to right field. Hit it pretty well. Cannell just in case.
Nate Snead down there as well from Tennessee.
0-2. That one is in the hole. Leadoff man aboard. Bottom of the 9th for Ted Burton.
Well, it all starts with a leadoff knock.
Now if you have Kirby Connell ready, it's maybe when Tennessee goes down to that bullpen breaking ball that is elevated and out enough, Ted Burton can get the barrel to it. He's hit some balls hard. Hadn't had a lot of return for it in this College World Series, but that time gets a leadoff man on, and we'll see that man trot in just a minute.
Payday combo, Raleigh Fingers, Goose Gossage. Combs looked over his shoulder to see who was ready, and it is going to be that fella right there, the lefty, Kirby Cannell, to try to close the door and send us all home. Looking forward to a winner-take-all Game 3. Crowd on its feet for the job Combs did, and what they hope Cannell will be able to bring for the Vols.
Comes into the 5th, you're thinking, all right, can he get us to the 9th? I don't know if that's exactly what you expect to happen. But it's exactly what did happen. He walked 2, he gave up 3 hits, 5 strikeouts. When he came in, the Vols trailed it by 1. Now that he departs, they have a 3-run lead and go to a left-hander that has been in his uniform on the mound for Tennessee more than anybody else in the history of the program. Kirby Connell on for the 35th time this year. 2 out of the 3 hitters that are due up next for Texas A&M from the left side. So we'll see if Connell's in there just to go after Caden Sorrell, or if he stays in with Caden Kent due up 3rd now in this inning.
Snead is throwing, and he's throwing fairly hard in that bullpen for him. Sorrell, and then Camarillo and Kent. 5th appearance, so he's been in every game. He's got a 1.69 ERA here. In 5 1/3, he's given up 6 hits, just 1 run, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. Again, these 2 teams met only 1 time. Play a regular season series. It was not, for all that you see each other in the SEC, a ton of familiarity between them. Caden Sorrell 1 for 3. That single came in the 5th. They trail by 3 here in the bottom of the 9th with nobody out. Good start for Cannell. Burke holds the runner on, so there's plenty of room on the right side of that infield if you hook one. That one missed. And that one's foul.
That's the right approach right there against the fastball of Connell. It's a heavy off-speed usage, especially left on left. You can see Sorrell really let that ball get deep and kind of just fought it off to the backside. Connell wants to get you fishing at that breaking ball.
Sorrell came in. He was hitting 300. Just a freshman. The left fielder had a good night last night. He's got 1 hit today and 3 plate appearances. Another throw behind at first. One of the keys today, of course, has been Tennessee's ability to make sure those runners at first stay there. They have gotten 2 of them. One by Beam on a pickoff, and then Stark and Burke combined. 1-2, that one is over the head of Amick. A&M here in the bottom of the ninth. Now have 2 on. They'll bring the tying run to the plate, and nobody is out.
Pretty good piece right there, because you're trying to elevate that fastball, get it in on the hands of Caden Sorrell. He gets just enough of it, flip it into left field. So back-to-back singles for the Aggies here. Ali Camarillo coming up next with Caden Kent standing on deck.
And Tony Vitello coming back out of the dugout. He's already gone to Snead, his righty. That will be at the one batter faced, Caden Sorrell. He didn't hit it very hard, but he hit it exactly where he needed to.
That's just a great at bat. I mean, for a freshman in that spot to be able to stay in there and stick to a plan, which is to not let the breaking ball beat you and punch it into left field. I mean, he has really set the stage here for a dramatic finish.
Well, this will likely be the finish, and it should be dramatic. Tying run comes to the plate. Nobody out. Nate Snead coming in. He'll be making his 4th appearance here in Omaha. They have been playing the College World Series in this great city of Omaha since 1950, and at this beautiful ballpark since 2011, as you take a great look at this place packed with orange and maroon for the Vols and the Aggies. And here comes the sophomore Nate Snead out of South Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 6'2", 212. You see the walks and strikeouts. There have been some walks in that right arm, and they have been here in Omaha.
There's plenty of velocity in that right arm, and that's the one thing you're going to give to Snead. It's a very high percentage of fastballs, and it's going to be between 95 and 100 miles an hour. What's interesting with it is there's less swing and miss than you would expect based on velocity, and I think that's the one thing to watch right here. Camarillo coming up from the right side, then Caden Kent. And as of now, who would hit? It would be Jack Bell that would hit at the back end of it.
Yep. Last night, the bottom of the order for A&M was very successful. Camarillo Kent had a huge night, you remember. Caden Sorrell as well. Those two scored 4 runs between them. And of course, Kent had the big 4 RBI night. Camarillo bats. He represents the tying run. As Kyle pointed out, not a huge body. There is some pop in that bat. He's got 7 homers this season. Snead will throw his first pitch. And it is a ball 1 at 99 miles an hour. An incredible environment. Everybody at the edge of their seat, if not standing. Get that call, and he took a little off at 97. We go 1-1.
Yesterday, not so much a display of power arms by these two teams. We have seen some serious high-level velocity today.
Burton and Sorrell, the base runners, on a 1-1. On a play. 3 straight fastballs. The first one at 99, and then the last 2 at 97. Ali Camarillo wanted to play on the biggest stage in the best conference. Check and check. Then a little jam job on the infield. Charged. Antigua makes the tag. The ball came out. Then he re-tagged the runner, Sorrell, and he got him pretty hard. So 1 out recorded. The ball popped out of his glove, and then he picked it up and tagged Sorrell.
Oh, wow. That split his eye wide open.
Antigua came in there full speed. I don't think Sorrell had an option here. This ball, I thought he should have gone to second because the ball jams him. I thought maybe he could put on the brakes, and then Sorrell goes low, and Antigua's thinking tag and throw to first for a double play. Sorrell goes low, and at that point, I guess it was his...
You got to challenge the tag.
I guess it was his glove that put him.
I guess he tagged.
Yeah, he tags him after him. Yeah.
He was originally called out, then safe immediately by the second base umpire because the ball popped out. Bigger concern right now is the health of Sorrell.
I thought maybe there was some lower body contact there, but that was the glove of Antigua that caused that cut.
Well, here he comes, Caden Kent, the hero last night. Can he do it again for the Aggies? First and third, one down. Double play would end it. Homer would tie it.
Ball, that's out.
And Snead misses away.
That would be just about right for Mr. Kent this week. A homer to
one
tie
out here right now.
Ball. 2 balls and no strikes. The home run last night from Kent was only his 4th of the year. It went over the wall into the bullpen in right. Sophomore to sophomore. The son of the former major leaguer Jeff Kent. Two-one. Swings and pops it up. That is playable for Dreiling. And shallow enough that there's no tag, and that's a big, big second out of the hottest hitter, Caden Kent.
Ryan Targach will walk up and pinch hit right here.
What a story this is for A&M and Ryan Targach, the 12th man wearing number 12.
Tell you the one thing with Targach, and that's why he's hitting here. He was a regular a few years ago. He got beat out this year. Handled it great. He can handle velocity. What gives Targach issues, and honestly why he didn't play a lot this year, is the swing and miss at the spin. But he can handle velocity. That's exactly what he's going to see.
Well, the stage is set. They let the runner go to second, and Targach takes a fastball down the middle. 1 home run on the season, a .220 batting average. A&M today 0 for 7, runners in scoring position. Good pitch away. It's called strike 2, and we are a strike away from a game 3. Took a big grip at it and fouled it out of play.
Only 1 home run on the season, 28 for his career.
Yeah.
This is a young man that has hit a few large ones in his time in College Station.
The scouting report is as it is, KP, with 2 strikes. You're throwing 1 away, aren't you, in the dirt anyway, or at least with some wrinkle into it?
Well, I think you want to run it off the plate, for sure.
0-2, Snead ready. Ball missed inside. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Targach takes the deep breath. All fastballs to a fastball hitter. Two-two. Oh, did he turn around that fastball? But he pulled it foul. Well, will that give you something to think about?
Nothing but heaters so far.
And it's been the book on Targach, is you can throw it as hard as you want. He can turn it around. But if you make it spin, that's what he has a hard time with. The challenge is Snead's best stuff is his fastball. And that's where he lives. He throws 75-80% fastballs.
Here he comes again on a 2-2 to Targach. And this ball is popped up into right. This one is now at the track, and that's where it will die when the wind brought it in. It just didn't sound the same as the foul ball. And Tennessee forces a game 3. They win it 4-1.
I feel like that's a little prelude to what we're going to get tomorrow night. This one feels like we're set up for one heck of a game 3. Tennessee responds. A&M wins game 1. Tennessee wins round 2. And the long ball, KP, got it done for them.
It's been Tennessee the entire year. I mean, the highest percentage of runs scored via the home run than anybody else in college baseball. All 4 tonight scored on 2 two-run shots, and I totally agree. Like, this series needed to be 3 games. Just felt that way to figure out who gets the ring tomorrow night.
Lampkin, Segrist, and everybody else that's available will be available to pitch for a game 3. One of these 2 teams will win a championship. It'll be the school's first. That's how it ended. Balls left the yard. Tennessee comes back after trailing 1-zip. They score 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. And we will be back here tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ESPN for Game 3 of the NCAA Men's College World Series Finals. It doesn't get any better than that.